Okay. Well, the Katina man is short USO. And it is now 2 o'clock. Joey, send him over, baby.
Yeah, over. Okay, we're not going to give him any extra time. We'll send him over there, man.
We did. Give him 20 seconds.
It's 50-50 on the roll up the rim between Katina Man and I. So if he wins, I get half of whatever it is. And that's how it's going. That's how we're going to rock and roll, man, because I would do the same thing for him.
Bang. Take care, guys.
We're gonna win it. We're gonna win the car.
Is that the top prize?
So I got a large because I rolled up a rim. My kid did it yesterday, and it won. And I won a coffee, so I got a large one.
No.
The Volkswagen ID Buzz. There's a pontoon boat.
Oh, okay, it's a pontoon.
Yeah, that's.
I'll
take a pontoon.
I thought maybe that was bigger.
You know, maybe we'll win a 98-inch QED TV there. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. A mattress from Endy. There is a sell-off. Oh, I'm looking to go on a vacation.
There you go.
Yeah, so maybe a vacation.
All-inclusive.
So, Joe, if I win a vacation, I have to bring you, or how does that work exactly? Oh, God, okay. All right, that'd be fun, man.
Denied.
Joe and I just chilling out on some beach somewhere. I don't know, but I think it'd be fun. Anyways, have some Mai Tais. Vanilla latte. Anyways, maybe just put on the glasses. I switched vests, man. I had Instinet on, now we went over to ice, so. Right here, we're ready to rock and roll. Well, I figure like I'm trading right now oil.
It's very nice.
So ICE owns most of the futures exchanges, right? So if we're going to trade oil, we're gonna put on our ICE vest right here, and there it is, right there. That was a trade that the boys were talking about. We did short that one down a little bit, bouncing now off 119. So we took a little bit out there. We actually only took out, I think, 40%. Each one, about 50%. Looks like each one of these 10%, and then we averaged it back in there. I try to do the OB pyramid scheme happening here. So we'll just keep adding to it on pops and then see if we can get back down into 119 and change. We're gonna try to run this right there. And this is why we put it out, right? I mean, that was the low of the day there on USO. We still have ears of the ground here to see if anything's going on. I mean, SIA will, okay, well, USO is actually moving right now. USO will bring us hopefully some good opportunities, and it's okay. You know what? I'm going to put a bid right here at 24. I just want to show you one more thing here about Rivian. Like, oh boy, man! I remember we mentioned this was being the trade of the day. Well, it got even better after we got out. Apparently, there was some sort of issue with Rivian, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But there it goes from the short of the day all the way to the downside right now. All right, what's up? See some breaking news over there?
Yeah, just like a quick breaking news over here. NASA is planning a bigger SpaceX moon mission role in a blow to Boeing. Sending it back.
Uh-oh.
No more blows to Boeing. Boeing's been taking it on the chin a little bit.
Oh, that's under 200? No.
Under 200?
No.
Okay. Where's my truck? I gotta back it up.
This was exactly kind of the thing. It's like if we lose the 200, then we go into the buy 180 zone. Well, that's where it bounced in November. We'll see if it ends up getting down there. But come on, man, Boeing, you've been turning that corner for a while now. If you turn the corner too many times, you end up back where you were before, which is in trouble. But no, I still like some Boeing. But more pressure for them. I actually didn't realize they were under 200. I haven't looked at them since yesterday. I don't know if you had, but yeah. I guess
No, I mean, I didn't. When you said down 200, I was like, what?
And the worst part is it's above VWAP. It actually bounced off the lows here at 197 or so. Anyways, I'm Deep Tranquility asking, what is my meta level? I haven't actually considered buying meta. That's more like a second half. I already bought meta once this year. I'm not in the long term. If I DCA something, I need to like it the most in its cohort if I'm gonna try to buy it again. And I don't think it's the best value right now. I'd rather pick up NVIDIA or Apple maybe on some dips. So I wouldn't consider meta till next year, but we can have a look. Actually, I'm in the same level on Intel, believe it or not. Yeah, let's throw up the $600. It's already at meta. Yeah, I don't think I would even consider this unless it was literally bouncing off of that same low from November. Like this is under 50, under 200. Both those things are going to be in play. And really, when you're getting a shot potentially, and we talked about like valuations, when you're getting the valuations that you are going to potentially get next quarter on NVIDIA, Apple, and Alphabet, I would just probably prefer those three if I'm going Mag 7 land there. So we'll see. We're going to get our rundown, of course, going with our individual, what individual names you guys want us to look at for sure. So we'll see. we will see what you guys want to talk about, although we have a little bit of a hint, which I haven't looked at.
We need to put on this ice baby jacket a little bit more. Because there it goes, man. We're in it again, man. We're in this dollar. We've had multiple dollars on this trade, man. Our first short was 120.50. That went down to 118.50. That's $2 right there. There it goes into the downside right now. So here we go again, man. It's USO. And we talked about this earlier, man. You got to trade names that have news, that have some movements there. I mean, we're on a prop floor. You can't just create action. You got to, respect the action. And there it goes. Yeah, buddy. Here it comes right down into the downside. So we've got it going on here today. And there it goes. Yes. Good fill at 118.50. Here we go, man. The face slapper is back in the building right now as Neil and I take over. Great midday show, Joe and Sharif, although I only cut the last hour of it. But here we go. Neil, it's a hot dog kind of a trade. We said that maybe that Rivian trade might be the trade of the day, but here it is. It's oil going through right now to the downside. So welcome everybody to the afternoon show. I hope I didn't get you guys too excited over there. I mean, you got to give reasons to get excited, right, Neil? Over here. So there's the market. That's what we're doing. The market can be very boring. So we'll try to get a little hype for you if we got some decent trades on. But there it is, man. We'll see what winds up happening. Just happy about this one because we did pyramid into this. So nice move to the downside. We got it again over here. It's oil, and it's going to the downside. So far, so good here. $1.50 in. We'll see how low it can get. I'm not hearing like any major news or anything. We just sort of shorted the momentum to the downside, and now we wait to see where it breaks. So, yeah, we're in here right now.
Log back in.
All right, Sharif, when you are ready. Almost ready. Okay, that's fine. Let's go over some more trades. All right, so we are in and out real quick there on Intel today. Boom, boom, no problem. Right there on Intel. Our futures was up and down. Hold on. We had this Rivian trade, obviously at the beginning of the day. This hit spiked there on the futures move downside there. Not the futures, sorry, on that Uber news. Spiked up and then hit that to the downside, and we covered it right there at the 200 period moving average. Obviously, Rivian continues to go lower. So, U.S. crude right now, we can check out where exactly that price is. U.S. crude now falling below $95 a barrel there just temporarily. So that's going to be like one of the lows that we've seen here this week. We've touched out in and around this area before, $94, $95. Remember, we just turned over this contract, so ours doesn't have a continuous feed, unfortunately, through this. But there it is right there, 94 and change. I think that's another level for us to look at. And if we're going to use USO as our weapon of choice, which we already have, then we can look to see where that level is. So that's 117.50, 117.60. We just dropped into 118. So we got a couple fills down there, but we have to look a little lower now. To see if oil does have some support here would be around that $95, oh, it's 95 now, 94, sorry, barrel mark that we just showed you. That would represent USO about 17.60 and change. So, hey, man, you might as well just put a bid there. If we could take $1.70 or whatever on this, we still have a decent amount left. So really excited about this trading rate here. And we'll get that going. I saw you traded some TPAT and some other names there today as well. Lots of different styles, lots of different names to trade.
Look, I'm back, right back at Intel at the exact same spot, pretty much the entirety of the morning that I wanted to be trading. And so we'll give it one more crack. And this was one of those, it should have been like 3, but ultimately, it kind of broke out here 1, 2 times, and it wasn't until it set up the head and shoulders that it was any good, and now we just have resistance on INTC. So sometimes you got to be a little bit more patient when it gets to your price level. But I'm not giving it to HOD. I want to give it to the local high in here, just above that 70 area. And then when I have the eyeballs on Boyle, this morning liked it for a long trade. Am I missing data? That's fine. I liked it for a long trade earlier when it was holding trend, but now all of a sudden you broke the trend pretty distinctly. You're underneath the $19. 19 was the long level on the note this morning, and you're underneath that. So when we break the trend here, we're going to be looking for that short. And Cool Brioche just said, look at BW. Babcock. We'll have a, don't mind. We can have a look at that. Yeah, obviously this one's been strong for a while. Energy name, another 5% for Babcock. Not a lot of volume, but the trend is your friend until the end when it bends. It's Obi's pick, so I might as well use one of Obi's quotes to describe it. He's a big fan of that quote. He'd probably be looking at some kind of reversion, just like I want to see here. Been nibbling at this one for a better breakdown off that $19 level on Boyle. We'll get to the rundown in a second, but this breaks the shelf, and I'll be jumping back into the south side. Sharif?
Sure.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. C&I, we're ready to go. The big boys, as they're known, Neil and Sean, they're ready to go, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers on the Afternoon Rundown, CS, to get into the chat and vote every day. But you got to throw in that $sign before you vote. And now you can vote on any social media platform you like, whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, whatever else. Make sure to vote, though. Bright and early, we're live at 8 a.m. But before we get into the rundown, let's look at all four major averages. We're going to look at the ETFs for these major averages. They're all in negative territory, starting here with the triple Qs, down 0.75%. The SPY also not faring that great, down 0.58. The Dow faring the worst of the bunch, maybe tied with the Qs here. The DIA down 0.72, and the Russell 2000 IWM ETF faring the best of the bunch. Down 0.33%. Let's start with the first one, though. Micron, Sia, what a report it was. We went through this on the midday. What can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, I can just see a couple of analyst comments here, Sharif. Neutral by Goldman Sachs, maintained at buy by UBS and buy by Citigroup. Nothing major.
All right, guys, big earnings report yesterday for Micron, beating on the top and bottom line by a lot, guiding much, much higher than analysts expected, but they're down, guys, 3 4/5.
Bought since the open, though. So, like, from that standpoint, like, there's always two sides to the coin. There's the price action from the prior close, and then there's what the market does when it opens up on Micron. And so far, the answer has been buy the dip for Micron. As said, it was high expectations that they were able to beat. The concern that I had with it, and it wasn't a concern, it was more of a point to get made. Like the increase in margins has gotten so high that you're pretty much at 76%. It's like they've had such gigantic leaps. It was like 58%, a double from last year, 58% last quarter, and now all the way up to 76. Like you're getting to that point where it's like, okay, well, how far can you actually stretch this on those margins? So it feels like you could be running into that curb where people start to look to take a little bit of profit. That's what's so far happened, but it's only been one session, and it's not even a full session yet. That's the first part. The second part is it's a little bit sloppy up here for Micron. If we have a look at the last week, effectively, look at that 420 level. I know we usually talk about 420 in other contexts, but that 420 has been a key linchpin. And all we've really done is retrace and bounce off the prior big support going into this print, and it's a wide range up top. For now, it's held on pretty well. So like anyone that I think Andrew Left was short like SanDisk, not this one, so it probably doesn't really matter. But anybody that was thinking this was going to all fall apart, it's holding on pretty nicely. Like if we look at the series of lower highs that got put in before we got to this point, like we effectively just bounced off that. So here, let me draw to let you know what I'm talking about here. You had this downward channel from the top, and all we've done is bounce off the prior resistance spot. That's kind of bullish still. So as much as it's not having the greatest day, 3%, it's not really that big of a win for anyone that's been trying to, I suppose, short this little move in here. If anything, it's kind of showing you the opposite as long as it holds on to that 420 level. So I'm going to save that so I don't have to draw this the next time I call this stock up. And as long as it holds on to that prior resistance turning into support, seems like there's a little bit of a win here for the buyers, I would say.
All right. Yeah, for Micron, I just got out of some more oil there. I'm just putting out a tweet right now. It came to our level. Like, that's exactly why we zoom out, right? And we look to see, where are these levels of interest that we're looking at there. So we got to fill at 782, and then took another fill here at 88. We could start to drift back up there on USO, but just letting you guys know that we did take that. The trade of the day belongs to Obi. He's not even here. He showed me one of his trades. He waited sort of for this to come through. Took it on either the 25 or the 50 break, got it again right there and got it again right there and covering back in. So waiting for the reversion back into the downside. So, but yeah, Micron, we talked about that earlier, that it was probably going to be on one today, and there it goes back up. I mean, despite it beating everywhere, it was downside on the print, and the reason why, every stock pretty much gets hit on their earnings, and good news seems to be faded, but not in a stock like Micron, where we've seen it just go up 8 times in the last 8 months or something like that. It's up 700 or 800%. So Micron, definitely one that the traders want to get there and buy. And so for me, it's not really at any key levels right now. I'll wait to see if we retest somewhere around here tomorrow, 425 to 426 on Micron. I mean, man, you guys all see where the bread is being buttered, and it's right here. I mean, oil's even going lower right now. So we'll give this a couple minutes, see what it winds up doing. But oil right now just cracked a little lower there into the 70s again. I'm going to put a bid down there because, hey, man, if you don't have a bid, you don't get filled. So we just have that little crack, and then it bounces right back up. So, yeah, here we go, man. It's USO, and it's downside so far for this one. $1.80 in the money, and trying to take some profits here on USO. Okay, Sharif, stock number 2, my guy.
Tesla, Katina, man, they're, well, kind of a mixed day today for Tesla. They're down about 2.6%. A couple of headlines. I'll get to the first one. They're being investigated again by the NHTSA for what they're saying the automated driving system, their FSD, raising concerns about its ability to handle poor visibility conditions. We're talking about fog, excessive sunlight, heavy rain. It's kind of misguiding the driver, Sia. So we'll have to see exactly how that all works out and what the investigation is. But there's another headline.
Yeah, Tesla has been down for a major chunk of the day, and Elon Musk has indicated that the company can tape out its next-gen AI6 chip by this year, December. And this tape-out will mark the final design stage before manufacturing. Now, AI6 chips are expected to power Tesla's full self-driving, that is FSD, and also the humanoid robots. So this is a critical step for scaling autonomy and robotics, both initiatives, which are obviously, as we know it, both long-term initiatives for Tesla.
All right, guys, Tesla doing the custom silicon thing with their AI6 chip. What are your thoughts?
Okay. I mean, I like that. I like the custom chip thing. I think that's smart ultimately for them. And you see a lot of the big boys doing that same thing. Like, get exactly what you need and do it in an efficient way, and hopefully bring your costs down so you don't have no reliance on outside companies as much. Now, unfortunately, none of that really. I mean, that doesn't really matter today. Today, the story will be that Tesla lost the 200-period moving average, and the good news is it held on to that 380. That's just talking about, we talked about this morning, that just goes back to this November low. And so we're bouncing off the November low. That's good, but it ain't that good. Because as far as I'm concerned, this close, unless we magically bounce like $10 in the next 90 minutes or so, Tesla's going to close underneath the 200-period moving average. Hasn't done that since August of last year. And that's one of those signs that there's something a little bit sick with the stock. And this morning, I don't really have a different. Oh, I have the same chart up on eSignal. I was sort of believing the next play is an auto 280 to 300. It's like if I see the 50 period on the 200 on the monthly chart get down there, that's where the buy is. I felt that way about 220 last year, and I feel that way about 280 to 300 this year. So just call it like the two. I don't know. There's no automatic number I can say. Like, I love the number 22. So last year it was easy for me to say 222, but let's just say 290 or so on that monthly. I think that's certainly possible. And to throw this in, someone in the chat this morning made a good point about Tesla, and that there might be some people who when the SpaceX IPO comes in, they might want to trim some Tesla to put that money into SpaceX. It's not the craziest notion in the world. I would combat that with saying I'm not sure that would be the case. I meant to respond to that in the morning show when they brought it up. I'm not so sold on that because there's completely different things, completely different.
High five right there. Shout out to you, my guy in there. What's up, TL Bryant 7791? Bang, high five. High five to everybody on TikTok and high five to everybody over here. Join us on all social media platforms. And if we're not on one, please put it in the chat and we will get there ASAP. Apparently we're going back to, were we going back to Sia for something there?
That's what I heard.
Yes, okay. Let's go to Sia and see what she's up to.
Yeah, I have two news headlines here. Starting today, the owners of Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat and Maserati EVs will have access to Tesla's supercharger network with more than 27,500 charging stalls. And Goldman Sachs GS is planning batches of job cuts starting next month to give divisions more control over timing than in the past year. Sharif, let's move on to the next ticker.
Absolutely, DataVault. DVLT, guys, they reported earnings. The company reported financial results and announced the signing of a definitive agreement to pick up NIAX. I don't even know how to say this. So this is the deal here, the definitive agreement to acquire this company, which is a blockchain-enabled exchange platform. And they also have an IP portfolio, intellectual property rights portfolio. What else can you tell us, Sia?
Yeah, we're just going to go over the numbers from their earnings, too. So revenue has risen 9.6% to $33.82 million from a year ago. Analysts were expecting a revenue of $24.7 million. And DataVault's AI Inc.'s reported EPS for the quarter was break-even, Sharif. The company also reported quarterly net income of $661,000.
Which at least they're profitable. At least they're profitable. Yeah. Oh, yeah, so go ahead.
Sorry,
yeah.
My final statement was just that the shares have risen by 42.6% this quarter alone.
All right, guys, DVLT?
I guess. I don't know, the EPS, it's not negative, right? So I guess technically that would be a good thing. But we said this morning, the bigger story here is you have to put this in context. 3 days ago, this was a 68-cent stock. Right now on that beat, it's a 76-cent stock. So, and if you look at it from, let's go, so you can see what it was really doing before the spike that it put in on Tuesday. It was mostly in the mid-60s, and it's still trading up. It had just done like a parabolic run. So they probably needed to have something insanely good to make it break that dollar. Like anytime something goes from underneath, a penny stock runs at the dollar and fails the dollar, oftentimes, like that's the run. It's going to take a heck of a lot to get back in there. And it already had its run going into earnings. I don't know too much about the acquisition. I can't speak as to whether that's going to be a good acquisition that they're making or like how expensive it'll be for them relatively. But this turns out to be a sell the news that seemed like you just saw it run from 65 cents or whatever to like almost a full dollar, reject that the day before the earnings. It would be hard for that to be bullish. I think this is a wait for a while, and maybe if it bounces, if it goes back into this consolidation zone and can try a little bit of a bounce there 2-3 days after when everyone's forgotten about it, you might get a nice little dead cat bounce because they did turn a surprise. I hate saying turn a surprise profit when the EPS was literally zero. They didn't lose money.
Yeah, I didn't. I wanted to talk about Rivian before when we went. We had to go back to see it there for some news, and it was regarding Tesla, but. There's the bump up there today on that Uber news. And I just wanted to say, we were waiting for it to give us this kind of a top. Once we saw it, that's kind of when we went short there at 17. It went back underneath. Then we took it against that 17.20. Then we didn't get any out, and it ripped right back up. And we were always using this 17.40 area as our stop, right? Even though it's a 1 minute chart, respecting that 1 minute news candle there. And it was made like on the third or fourth candle of the news itself. So, there was enough time to digest that story. And then it came back in. So then we shorted right into here. Again, that was the last sort of supply zone. And then it was just downside after that. And obviously getting out at 16.40 was a good trade there. That was almost $1, but you can see now Rivian. I think this might be a long, man. It's trying to barcode here in and around 15.60 now, RIVN. So again, still going to be, my most profitable trade now is USO, but Rivian was it early, and that's about it late. So nothing right now, but definitely interested in looking at Rivian for sure in the next couple of days. We had, I think, a big trade on it yesterday, and then again here now today with that news on Rivian. So downside there, but we'll get the whole details on the full story in a bit. But let's go back over the desk and hear our third or fourth name right now. Fourth.
Explain to you. All right. Let's talk a little NVIDIA here, getting the nod from New Street Research, who put them on the 2026 Best Idea list. The CEO of New Street said, basically, Jensen Huang, at this conference, he told attendees, I see through 2027 at least 1 trillion. New Street Research really liked that, and they gave the nod today to NVIDIA for that. Sia, what else do we have?
So Sharif and I were just talking about this, that NVIDIA is restarting productions of its H200 artificial intelligence processors for Chinese customers after months of uncertainty. There has been so much back and forth about this, Sharif. We just talked about this. Yep. It's frustrating. What do you think about this?
Absolutely. We were talking about the regulator kind of either allowing NVIDIA to export their chips and then the Chinese regulator blocking their companies from buying their chips. It's not really up to NVIDIA. If it was up to NVIDIA, they'd be selling these chips already, but
I think so too,
really
100%.
can't,
and also another headline that not a headline, but even though Tesla's CEO Elon Musk has confirmed in a press release that they will be using NVIDIA's chips in the coming years, the stock has not been performing well overall.
I think that's
stock, NVIDIA?
I think that's a bit. I don't know. I feel like that's a little harsh. No. It hasn't been doing anything. I feel like in a world where we have charts that look like the trade desk. Nothing against. Look, man, the trade desk had news this week, so I don't want to be that.
It sounds like you have something against.
No, but I'm not picking. It's the first one. It's the first thing that comes to mind this week that has a garbage chart because they had that story on Wednesday, I believe it was. No, so like NVIDIA is disappointing because it's been flatlining for so long, despite the good numbers. But I'll tell you what, and I double checked this one at a second source because I don't know. They got a forward 22 PE right now on NVIDIA. So what does that mean? A, that means it's about as cheap as it's gotten in a very long time to own NVIDIA when they're still putting out good numbers and telling you the backlog is still gigantic. And if they do one of those, hey, by the way, we have a big beat next quarter, you could be talking about underneath 20. To me, that's a buy. And I don't see how anybody... I don't know many people that wouldn't buy this thing if you saw an under 20 PE. I don't know. I've never actually heard someone. I'd love to. Who would not want to buy NVIDIA underneath the 20 PE? I'm quite curious of that. It's been pretty disappointing, but it's holding the line. And the other thing I always sort of try to lean myself into is, I remember a few years ago when Amazon was in a similar barcode situation, and if you liked it, you liked it. And sometimes you have these long consolidations after big upward moves, and it just means good. That means the next leg up can be even better as long as it holds the line. So I get it. It's been pretty disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. There's plenty of stocks that look a heck of a lot worse that are trending in the other direction. You could do worse than holding the line, which NVIDIA is. And you know what? It's bouncing off the 200-period moving average today. That's the other thing. So we gapped down. We bounced off the 200-period moving average and are moving up right now. That's a good sign.
Yeah, look, I made this call yesterday and said that I really think NVIDIA is the next. If we like AI and, we talk about these stories, obviously, 24/7, then NVIDIA is really the only place. I think that if everybody's going to start to dance around with robots and do this and do that and autonomous cars and everything, there's only one place that you're going to need to go, and that's to NVIDIA. So it's your one-stop shop right now for the AI trade, in my opinion. I really think it has the juice to go. The problem is everybody's in right now in NVIDIA. So it needs some kind of another story. It needs some good feels in this market again to get going. I really do believe in this stock. I believe in this stock. I believe in Marvell, and I really like Google. So those three names, man, are big ones. They're big in your boys' portfolio. We've also got some Palantir in there. I like NVIDIA. I think it's going to be a monster, and I'll see you guys at 250 on NVIDIA. What's up, Sia?
Just earlier, I was talking about how NASA is planning a bigger SpaceX moon mission. Now, the details of this are, in the new proposal, Boeing's SLS would no longer be used to boost Orion close to the moon. Instead, now, Starship and Orion would dock in Earth orbit, giving Starship the pivotal role of propelling the capsule to the moon's orbit before taking astronauts down to the surface. And now, BA is down 2.79%.
All right, so let's go on to the next story, guys. Last here is SER, Serena Therapeutics, up big on the day. I was trading this one during the midday show, surged in the aftermarket yesterday, moving about 40% after they announced a $15 million private placement that closes on Friday. There's a second $15 million tranche expected to close by the 30th of April, as well as warrants, Darwin, if you're in the chat, which potentially raising about $33.33 million.
Sorry, just a bit of a correction there. It's $30 million in private placements.
So 15 and 15.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect.
All right, guys. SER. What's the look on SER?
Ooh, Serve Robotics?
Flat bottom break? Not well, I was going to say, like, Serve Robotics, we know. It's, oh, you've never seen The Wire.
No.
Him, this one, we know.
That's the one I need to watch.
We don't know. That's Sergey.
Okay. I need to get into
like,
that.
there's characters that are, like, Sergey is one of those characters. Like, the first time he's on screen, you're like, yeah, you probably don't want to mess with that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, like, it's just, he's one of those guys. No,
it's like when I see Sharif in the morning on the Trader TV stream, you know.
Just, anyways. Potential flat bottom break?
Want to mess with.
I don't know, technically, just look at where the support is right now. So if you're trading this, you're probably looking at 240, and you wouldn't need me to tell you. Look at the support there, look at the resistance there, look at how much it respected. I don't think I've seen a small capper like this respect the volume weighted average price the way that it did throughout lunch. Like, look at it just bounce off VWAP over and over again. So if it breaks that flat bottom, I think you just wait for VWAP or this support at $2.10, not 21. 210. Yeah, that's what I'd look for. Volume looks like it goes in spurts. Not terrible. It's done 140 million, but obviously decreasing volume throughout the day. Yeah, so maybe wait for VWAP at the 210 bounce if you lose that support at 240. And is this a habitual? Oh yeah, it's a. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it absolutely is not one of those good-looking small cappers. It's the absolute opposite of that. This is a habitual line stepper. I don't. Yeah. Look for. Take your profit where you can. This one that's really bad. Every single bounce is reversed within a couple of days. It's like a couple of days, and then back down. So you want to make sure you bank your profit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, take profits where they lie, for sure, if you can see them there, especially if it's matching on some sort of a chart. All right, so I don't know how many trades I'll be in this afternoon, but I do like USO right now. I wanted to take an average price. So last time we took an average was right here at the 50 period. We took it again at the 50 period. It did run a little bit against us right there. Obviously, we're still in the money here, but we've averaged into this price right now. Our last fill was at 119, which is, which is where the 50 period moving average is. I'm not touching this again until we come up to VWAP. So my next offer is actually at 120.20. So yeah, close enough. So right into this area as we approach VWAP. And then we'll look, and then my stop out's always been the same, upsides. We got to break through VWAP, and then we'll see the actionable trading on that, 121.20. Like, everything's come back in just a little bit now, so we got to keep adjusting our stops here. VWAP in the 200 period won't move that much, but you can see since we've executed the trade, it was at one point there at 121. Now you're down to 120.60. So, you are, having to sometimes adjust your targets and where you're looking for the trade. So we'll, as this starts moving around, we'll address it, right? But for right now, our last fill was at 119. We're just trying to take bumps and then back into the downside. As long as we're under the VWAP, we're under 200 period moving average, we're going to still try to let this one go a little bit there, right? So we're going to see if we can get some actionable trading there in USO. Now, over on NYMEX, we are now closed.
I was gonna put that up to just
What? Oh, yeah.
Just because I knew you were saying, literally looking at the same thing. Settled at 316. We should look at Brent more often. I know if you ever see us pull up the futures, it's because our contract here is U.S. Lights Week, and we don't actually have.
Well, that's gas.
No, that nat gas.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Boyle right now myself, but oil futures also would have just.
Yeah. So there it is right there at 230. You see the big volume spikes, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't usually mean that much.
No, it shouldn't mean anything. I mean, not these days, not when we're waiting for news, but closed on NYMEX, so you got to trade off exchange right now for oil futures. So anyways, this is what it looks like right now. And we'll just continue to take some questions and look at some opportunities. And if anything is, hitting any key levels.
Fish, we were joking around with the Serve Robotics things. We know SER isn't Serve.
That you've been served. Serve Robotics, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's SERV. That SER is some other form.
Oh, SER. I wasn't even, I was zoned out during that.
It's like some Serena Therapeutics.
Okay. Yeah. Because I actually called up the robotics ETF when we were doing that segment. I wasn't even.
Serena.
Here's Tesla. Like, I almost, honestly, at 1 o'clock when I came back from the gym and everything, I started trading oil, but I was actually right here. I almost like said, you know what, Tesla, man, 380, a friend of mine for sure, this stock. We could have had a very, very good risk to reward here. If you use that low as your low, that's 379.70. You know, we were dancing around whether or not we wouldn't have got 380 flat. It didn't come in, but let's just say you take 380.50 with slippage about $1 worth of risk. So it's now paid off. The reason why I didn't take it was obviously the Nasdaq and some of this market was underneath, right? And so we're underneath VWAP, and at that time, you know, everything was pointing southbound. So I didn't want to get into that Tesla trade, but I'm here to tell you that it looks like a really good opportunity to do that for anybody that managed to catch that long. I would just say VWAP is your friend, man. You might want to. We've bumped ahead of VWAP, but every time we did come back in. This time we didn't go high enough to do any damage there. But yeah, Tesla right now down 3% and not a great look. Here comes 180 right now again on Tesla. So like I said, I'm not going to take it, but this is a trade that I had thought about before on TSLA. You know, I don't want the market to go down too much because generally speaking, when market goes down, oil goes up. But I don't really hear anything right now. So I think we're okay on the news front now. We'll have SIA, we'll have, you know, we're tuned into the news as well. But yeah, pretty quiet now. I just wonder, like, with all this ceasefire talk, with Ukraine, I heard a little bit, they're going to have some negotiations with Ukraine coming up soon, that, you know, maybe oil may think about slowing down a little bit and coming back down to life. Oil's home is going to be about $80 a barrel. So we'll see where that winds up going through as well. Look at this market on the SPYs, man. This is the S&P 500. If you went to sleep off the open, which it seems like some of these markets did, you opened up at 656.76. It's at 657 right now. So you are basically right here, just obviously VWAP's higher because you can see where I'm putting this. You're just bouncing around right now, the open and the closing prices here of the SPY. So, you know, not super exciting right here in the broader markets. We can look at some ETFs. We can talk about some bank stocks, some SoFi. It's good that Neil's on Boyle there. That should move, obviously, as a more liquid and more volatile ETF. I think it's 2 or 3x that one, right? So
yeah, it's one of the leveraged ones.
Yeah.
Remember when trading leveraged ETFs? I'll say it in that voice, which is like the infomercial voice.
Yeah,
it's a trading vehicle, not an investing vehicle, and ultimately that'll mean, you know, you look at the extremities. There will be always splits on these things and all that kind of jazz overall. But for the day trade, you know, respect some of the normal things that you look at. So this one would just be like this little bit of a trend break. I was middling around with it when it was underneath, it was above this trend line. I'm like, why am I doing that? Why am I trying to figure that out? It's like short it underneath the trend line is the way to go. Todd is asking thoughts on SMH, probably whatever NVIDIA and Micron do today. Like, let's be real. Oh, you pull it up and it's rolling over. Literally as we speak, looks like we're rolling over a little bit here. SMH, we're basically mirroring the charts of NVIDIA, and Micron's not really rolling over as much. It's not looking too bad over there. Let us know what names you guys are looking at, because when I look at I'm going to restart the visualizer. I think we should do this. We should do this every day, and oftentimes, because like I'll look at the trade rate list and the hot list, and it won't be indicative of what's going on in the afternoon. So I'm going to give this the old. Actually, I don't have to hit refresh. I can do fresh start and then make sure. And then when everyone types in $, I just saw Marvell and I just saw Dell. At some point, those should pop in there. NBIS, DVLT, Qs. Microsoft got blocked there. But so far, yeah, NBIS and Micron. And so if you're in the chat right now, welcome. Enjoy. Anytime you type a symbol in, whether it's discussion, question, whatever, or have a look at this, make sure you do so with the $. And then we can get an idea. And no surprise, Micron right back up to the top of the list on earnings. UiPath is going to be up there. Who loves Path? Was Mitch this morning?
Oh, does he love something? Oh, gosh, okay.
I don't know. No, maybe someone in the chat was talking about UiPath this morning. For some reason, I remember somebody talking about you.
The market's not moving because we've got welcome to March Madness right now, and shout out to.
Well, MSU doesn't play till 4:05.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to Nebraska right now. I'm not trying to ruin it for
Ohio
anybody,
State's playing right now.
Nebraska's playing right now. South Florida versus Louisville. That looks like that's been a good game.
OSU winning?
I don't want to show the scores because I don't know if people are.
How do you lose?
People are
TCU?
looking.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, Ohio lost. There you go. So you just ruined it there. 66-64 on that one. So that's the first final on the day so far. TCU upsetting 9 versus 8. Ohio State.
The Big Ten supposed to.
Right there, yeah.
I'm a Big Ten fan.
They lost there. Nebraska easily dealing with Troy. So, yeah, but shout out to everybody that's with us right now.
0 for 1 on my bracket.
Oh, yeah. Nothing else.
No other finals?
I'm sure you have Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the 4 versus 13. That's not a big deal.
No, then every other game is close.
Once you lose one close one, you're dead.
Yeah, your bracket.
That's how they work.
You know.
You can't lose.
There'll be no perfect brackets once again this year, of course. So I don't know if
Buffett still do.
No, I think Buffett's is out of that game, but maybe I'm not sure. I don't want to take a Phil here, that's for sure. Shout out to Phil again. I'll be seeing you tomorrow, or no, tonight. Then my wife's going to practice. So I was just thinking, like, this USO, it's kind of doing something that I like. I mean, it's barcoding right now underneath VWAP. I think the path of least resistance here, USO, is down right now. But obviously with the market kind of sideways as well, sitting on your hands is an option. There is no doubt about that. You don't have to trade anything right now. I'm just waiting to see if there's going to be some news. I'm still going to stop out up here. I've already done the math. Like, this can get bad, and we've already taken, we took good profit there. We really, when we zoomed out here and showed you guys some of the levels on USO, and that sort of coincided with right here, that was good enough for me. Like, without news, we were trading this last week with Obi. We had some really huge trades on. And it was just like, you got to wait for news to break. And when it does, then these things just either, rip or obviously the other side of it, going to the downside on, better news for the Gulf, and on worse news, as far as the safety and, wartime action and stuff like that, then oil will go back up there to the upside. So we just got to, we know we got to be careful here with USO, but still trying to give it that room to get back up into VWAP and just let it trade, right? I mean, it's had some problems today to get going, so we'll see if it does that for no reason here into the close, and if it just drifts up, I do like the short here against the 50-period moving average, against VWAP. All right, so Micron could be a look as well. Sort of barcoding there, but, underneath VWAP for me would be a short. We're not quite there yet. This looks like a decent level, obviously 447. I don't think we're close to getting that level yet either, but 447 could be a play if you're looking short. We talked about Obi had a trade over there on that short to the downside. You'll see Obi tomorrow at this time with Neil.
Over path
yeah, we can go over UiPath. And I just want to look at one more time here at SoFi. And obviously SoFi had that huge move down the other day, and guess what? We're almost right back there again. So despite yesterday's sort of bump higher and the retracement higher right off that news, the Muddy Waters report, if you are wondering what exactly this maniac in the sunglasses is, or the Gunners is talking about, it's this report right there that sent it to the downside, where Muddy Waters was saying their financials were a little muddy, and right back up to the upside as they went, and they closed basically flat on that day. Then yesterday we had some good talk again back in. We found out that Anthony Noto, CEO of SoFi, did go in there and purchase like 50,000 shares or something, notional about 500,000. So maybe it was a little bit more than that. Back up to the upside right there. And then now today, yesterday during the Fed, obviously everything got faded. So that would have been a great short there. And then now just continuation play into today as we wait to see about this $17 marker there. Again, that looks like a decent high. So we'll see if we can fade tomorrow any SoFi if it wants to get going back up to the upside. I think 17 probably a good short until we're wrong on SoFi. And I know I said I'd throw it back, and I will. I just want to look at Robinhood again. I just want to see if it broke 70 today. It did not. So Robinhood is another look here that I think, to diversify instead of loading up maybe into more SoFi, that's clearly not working and does have that report around it. This looks like a very, very good setup right here to me on Robinhood, as it's looking like, again, that it wants to sort of hold out for a little bottom break, or we're just basing out for a higher rip. I'm going to go with upside there because the banks have been, getting hit a lot. I feel that Robinhood does have sort of the juice to get back going, especially if you are a bull in crypto, right?
I think someone was saying for DCA, they're like, oh, DCAing is when you buy something every couple of days. I'm like,
well, not days.
No, I'm like, I consider, and everyone has their own opinion on that. I would consider like DCAing like more like once a quarter or something that you like. So for me, when I had said earlier I wanted to put some money back into SoFi when I sold some, because that's actually, outside of any financial that isn't Morgan Stanley or Canadian, that's my biggest holding, and I sold a third of it up near the top. And I wasn't sold on whether I wanted to buy more SoFi. I put some of that in, some of that money I wanted to put in, I put 20% of it into that consolidation on Robinhood. And I will look back in another quarter and decide which one of the two I like again. And that'll be probably sometime mid-year for sure. But everyone's DCAing is going to be a bit different. I just felt like you've fallen a little bit too far too fast. I felt the same way about some of the major banks as well. And Morgan Stanley looked like a value the other day. Well, it was actually probably a couple weeks ago. But they haven't been doing that well. You know what? That's an understatement. I actually think the XLF has been a bit of a dumpster fire, relatively speaking. And as much as this was one of my picks last year, and I actually fell out of favor with it relative to some of the names in the space well before it looked bad. But like, we're way under the 200 period moving average. We had a death cross on, not that I care about those kind of things, but it's not good when you have one. The 50 crossed to 200 on the financial ETF, and we're breaking out some fresh lows. So it's pretty darn bad here for them, which sometimes when I smell panic in the group, my first thought is, what are the things I like in the group that I would try to go shopping on for an opportunity? That's what kind of led me to Morgan when it got back down here. It's a big time trend break, and this one I was like, it got to the 200 period moving average. If I like a stock, usually when I own it, I'll buy it at the 200 period moving average, almost as a rule. Is what it is with those financials, but they have not been very healthy. You have to ask yourself the questions like, do you still like them, or is it time to make a decision and cut some bait? For me, it was dip buy Morgan at the 200 and get into some Robinhood, which I've never owned before. It's the first time I've ever owned any shares of Robinhood.
Okay. Yeah, I don't own any Robinhood yet. Okay, so I thought you were going to talk about UiPath.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I threw it over there, and then you kind of...
That's my bad. Look, I put up the visualizer, and UiPath is #1 on the list, so I was going to go over it. But there isn't... It's really more along the lines of, it's at a very obvious resistance spot. And so I think it was Mitch maybe that had mentioned UiPath he liked. I don't know, and if it wasn't, then my bad, Mitch. But when you look at the bounce that it's had, like, it's given you the move that you would want, goes right to the 50 period like that. And to me, when a stock respects a major moving average, and you respect the average with it. So I look at that 1250, 1260 level and say, nope, no mas, unless you break out. If it doesn't break out this top, I don't think it gets all that interesting. And look at the resistance that it's got on that same high, like yesterday's high, today's high, even this week here on the 11th. That all corresponds with, you need to break the 50 period moving average on the daily, and then you maybe get some kind of squeeze. I know there's probably a decent short float here with UiPath, and it's a Cathie Wood favorite and all that good stuff, but yeah, nothing's having that great of a day today, but it gets more interesting if it busts that 50.
Yeah, no, good look there. I'm getting a little bored now, of course, so what's up? Just because you're bored doesn't mean you need to make more trades. I was just looking at this level right here and kind of thought, okay, I mean, I'm still waiting for up here to put on something serious up to 120. I don't know if oil's going to, of course, as we just said, give me that 120 look. If it does, fine, I'm here for it. But for right now, it's kind of just hovering around this 119 area. So yeah, not necessarily a crazy friend of mine here or anything, but
Tesla apparently tanking.
Tesla tanking, okay. That might be okay right there for me. But yeah, Tesla making that move right now. We can go over and have a quick look.
Just broke the 3.8.
Oh, did I get those USOs? No, I did not. Okay, so here's Tesla. Someone in the chat. Dumpage, yeah. Okay, there's that break. So that's exactly sort of what we were talking about before. I don't have it, so it almost doesn't matter. But that's sort of that look that we were talking about with Tesla on that 380 break. Damn it, darn it, Sean. You should have that. Okay, So yeah, not great right now with that break. So a good little level there. Hopefully some of you have that break out to the downside, finally breaking that 380. We said, remember when it was here, I was like, I'm not going long there because, you know, you could see everything underneath VWAP, underneath. There's the break, and see you later. It's breaking without, I wonder, see you back there? No? We'll look because
Without news.
I don't know. Yeah, there might, I don't know if there's.
no,
there's probably not news. I was just like, maybe if there was. Futures not doing anything. So here's the Nasdaq futures. Generally, you don't get a move down like this unless there was something. But yeah, for right now, we'll just hang out a little bit and see if there's anything going on. Oh, rating the lunch? Yeah, I need a new graphic. So we need something like this is what's for lunch? Lunch, I need rate that lunch right now. So, okay, now the fact that we've determined what the lunch rating system is all about, and that is that you have, okay, I was gonna say, make sure you have your mic on this time, my guy.
Ready, bro.
Is it a little chilly in here or you're okay?
Pardon me?
Is it a little chilly in here?
Yeah, I'm always cold. You know?
Okay, cold as ice.
Yeah.
All right, that, I thought today actually, because my chicken was well cooked, so I didn't mind it. The taste was a little bland, but I thought it was okay. But based on the fact that
about the chutney?
Chutney, I didn't get a whole bunch of it. I kind of mixed it all together with the chicken, so I kind of made like a little stew action sort of thing happening there.
There was like this much chutney.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was hard to.
It was the best part of the. It was the best part of the meal, but there was.
What else was there? Was there? Oh, you know what I didn't mind was there was some nice cauliflower. Yeah. The roasted veg was actually pretty good. So I'm gonna go 7.5 on that. So I think that's a pretty good rating.
I think
there.
Solid rating.
Thank you. Yesterday was a little lower. Yesterday was a 6 or so. I thought it was way too salty, but today, well seasoned, well prepared. So caterer, I give you a 7.5. What about you two fine gentlemen?
Yeah, Neil, talk to me.
I already gave mine a little 5. My chicken was very dry. I did not get enough chutney. I don't. There's literally 3 vegetables I don't eat in this world, and one of them is cauliflower. So like, what do you want me to say? I
think there was sweet potato in that too.
There was, but then it was sweet potato, and then there was also a bunch of rice, like plain white rice.
No cauliflower.
It's like way too many carbs, and it should have been like double the serving of the meat and less of the carbs. I can't deal with. I don't need 2 helpings of carbs and then not enough protein.
All right, fair enough. I'm definitely along the lines of Katina's rating there. I gave it a 7.6.
Oh, we are very close.
Yeah, that's a high rating, right? A nice smoke on the chicken. Rating. You got that kind of that fire taste within the chicken. That's big. And then if you mix the chutney with the rice, it just gave that little that nice pop of flavor in the onions in there. So I'm gonna give that a high rating of 7.6, guys. Good stuff.
I feel like you got more chutney than I did. Mix it with the rice. There wasn't enough to.
So Neil,
I had like 1 forkful of that.
Let me give you a little trick. There's unlimited amounts of this stuff just sitting there. If you want to add a little bit of chutney to your life,
I was already done.
You can okay, you're already done. But next time, Neil, you can add some more chicken to your life. You can get rid of the carbs. Like there was 2 things of mashed potatoes the other day. I dashed one of them.
Yeah, but the thing is,
and added more protein.
You know what time it came today? It came at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I know.
That had been sitting for a longer time than normal.
Yeah. I always throw it in the microwave as well. So a little bit of advanced strategies there, guys, for you. So yeah, but okay, good. That's rate the caterer. We need a new thing for that there. Rate the lunch. As it goes, but a pretty good lunch overall there today.
Throw in the trader, you might be a super taster. Super tasters hate bitterness, including cauliflower.
You might be a super taster.
I don't know if I hate bitterness. I just don't like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. Love everything.
Brussels sprouts would be my least favorite out of that.
But I'm weird when it comes to vegetables. Like I'll crush kale like it's going out of style, which most people don't like.
Yeah, no, kale is
each their own.
Kale is kind of like poison to me. That's my kryptonite. Okay, all right. Here comes a USO. Like we could have averaged in a little bit more to it, but we didn't get like even 120. Like I'm not using the good feel levels there. Like if it's not lining up with something, then your boy is puff puff pass. And like right now, it didn't get up to there. I think now that I'm looking at it and as I talk like this, I should probably get something out here. So we'll bid some 29s. We'll sit on the bid now. And remember, when we say like right there, when I get hit at 29, I'll make a rebate there and get paid to do that. So it's not like every single trade all of these trades on here, I'm getting paid to make. I'm not punching into any of them. So that's called removing liquidity. I'm adding liquidity right here to those trades. So like if I had to pay $4 or $5 a trade there, then obviously, you know, this would be a disaster. So we're definitely not doing that. This is prop trading, of course, and many of you may be on prop accounts. And we always talk about this with Trade the Pool. You know, the whole point of trading at prop is trading someone else's money. You could be a little bit more, you know, risk prone to your trades. You're not trading your own account. You do have risk parameters to follow. All of us have different risk parameters as well. They're based on the success of your trading. So, you know, you got to make sure you level out where your stops are and, you know, make sure that you do have a good base of an idea. That's why I'm always, you know, you're going to see my head going everywhere because I'm always looking to see what the net is at, to see where the opportunities lie. And so far, so good here today as we just continue to hold on to this USO. I'm going to put another bid because we stopped at 119 a little bit here. Maybe we can zoom in, give you guys that. Okay. All right, here we go again, man. All right, we just see, it wasn't even sitting there. Now we did, yeah, there it goes. All right, man, we get an 02 there, Phil, on USO. So here it comes, man. Let's bring the pain to the downside right now on a little bit of a reload. And again, we're getting out because that was 119 right there. We do have, that's at 118.80, so I'll put it, actually I'm already at 118.80, so we'll just wait there for that fill to come in. And yeah, we'll just go from here and see how low we can go on these oil futures. So far so good. And of course we're trading USO here, so it's not proper oil. This is what oil actually looks like. It is now closed in NYMEX. It's the K contract, so we'll go over, there it is there, the May look. So 95 and change, there's a little bit of a dump, and it's gonna look the same as USO. I just prefer to trade the equity because it has the same level too, and you don't have to worry about contracts or anything like that. For me, it has nothing to do with risk or anything. I have enough risk all over here, but it's just a matter of waiting for you know, this and learning something new, while this is just a level 2. It looks exactly like, you know, Google or anything else. So I tend to trade all the ETFs. The same thing with Nasdaq and ES and all that. Every time I'm in to the TQQs, I'm definitely basing that off of Nasdaq trades. Okay, there we go, man. So again, about that trade of the day, it looks like we may have to change our opinion on this one because there goes oil right there to the downside, man. I'm now up 3x on this oil trade that we were up on Rivian today as well. So far so good over there. This was the Rivian early. We got filled there and got out at the 200 period, and then it absolutely tanked. But here we go. Yes, Mr. Roberts. It is now $1 off of that reload. So not sure what's going on with Boyle there. I hope it's going as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice, man. Nice trade there on Boyle. Let's get down to the downside right now. Yeah, Neil, let's go. We got this one, baby.
Yeah, and it's riding the trend line, but I gotta respect two things here. One, it's doing this. So every single time we get to the top of the trend line, I'm gonna start covering at the bottom of the trend line and look for it to break. So I'll call it a channel. It's more of a channel than anything else. So play the channel, short the top of the channel, do cover some at the bottom, and if it breaks, then you flush into the low as we try to respect that there. And I don't know, there's no rule saying that USO and Boyle actually have to move together. It could be a coincidence. No. Like one is nat gas and one is oil. Oftentimes, look, you did see it just now.
Go.
And I would suspect that were to continue. If I saw that stop, that would give me a little bit of pause for concern. But what's still happening is every single time we go cause for concern. I said cause for concern. Every single time we seem to spike down in futures, in energy, we're going up in the market. So you want to watch out as well for what's going on with the Qs, because we are and the SPY, same thing. We're in a barcode kind of a range. So every time we retrace back to the top, I would consider, hey, well, when we get to the resistance spot in the futures, you're probably finding some support there in energy, and you might want to take a little bit out. So play inside of the range. Oftentimes when you see you're in a boring market, then you want to play inside of any established range. That's why I drew up that little bit of a channel. I feel like that's been happening a lot lately, where you have this channel trade. Oh, I didn't hit save. Big note: if you want your trend lines to stay in your real trading, you actually, after you draw them, you have to hit save on your platform. A little bit annoying there, but I'll hit the save, so I don't have to draw that the next time. Probably didn't draw it as good, but again, same thing. Take a little bit out on the bottom end of the range, which is about a 1% range the entire way through. If we get an extension, great and fantastic for sure. Paul says you can trade cold for shorting Boyle. Yeah, you know, we've kind of had this discussion before. I like when down things, like when shorts go down and longs go up. to a certain extent there. And I feel like Boyle, from a volume standpoint, Boyle does a little bit more volume for the same price. So it gets a little bit more liquid. I think if you're ever choosing an ETF, if the two things are basically the same, the one that does the better volume, to me, breaks a tie almost every single time. Like, that's why I would trade IBIT over any other ETF for Bitcoin, because IBIT does the best volume relative to price.
Yeah, I like some IBITs there for sure. Okay, yeah, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully we'll be able to...
Way back through that 380.
Yeah, okay, good, nice. Well, look at the futures, man. The futures absolutely rocketed up right there, right back into the afternoon highs, right at this key level again of 24.5. So 24,500 right there. I mean, it's music to my ears, man, because as the futures go higher here, oil is going the other way. And again, man, just trying to show the versatility, man. Earlier, we were trading the TQs earlier today. Wow, nice little spike there. A bunch of shorts in there. That's basically all that wound up happening. And then, you know, back into this level. This is a decent area to short. Right there, if you're looking at it. I mean, obviously touch, right into there. We get it going. But on the 5-minute chart here, you still have some work to do before you get anywhere near the 200 period moving average. There's been a couple bad down days. So 200 period staying a little higher there, especially after that instant move lower there today. We still have not gotten back to Greensville. All right, so it looks like oil now on a little rippy back to the upside there. But again, like, we've already captured this trade. So comes back in, man. You see that huge spike down. We put some bids. We get triple filled down here as well at another key level. Obviously, I was waiting lower to see if we can get another fill down there. But I'm pretty confident that if we just kind of stand out here and wait for a couple more minutes, we should be able to see those lows coming through. Just trying to play the momentum. Not really hearing any news. If you guys have anything, let me know on any oil kind of trading. But yeah, definitely tough day trading for sure.
Netanyahu, Iran has no capacity to enrich uranium or make ballistic missiles after.
Yeah, I think that's really old.
Right? So, like, that would be, I mean, I don't want to, like, I'm not going to use that whole, like, mission accomplished kind of thing, but that would be the kind of thing that the market is certainly liking right now. So, like, you would think that's definitely bullish. It could lead to the whole de-escalation, which everyone's looking for. I hesitate to say that it will. It's just that's the way it's being interpreted. So I think it sticks with the whole, like, energy pull back, market pull up kind of thing. The last headline we just got, and, you know, take it with a grain of salt. That's from Netanyahu there. And I didn't check the video to make sure it wasn't AI, but whatever. I don't know if you Oh, it's like, yeah, we can look. It's on TV. He's giving it. I only say the AI thing because that was like a meme online. One of his speeches is like, oh, he had 6 fingers on that one. It must have been.
Okay. Yeah, just be careful with what you. But yeah, you know, welcome to Trader TV Live, man. I hope you guys are enjoying the show right here. And I mean, I think there it comes. Like we just said, USO. We'll wait to see if we get that drop down. We get it. I do have another bid at 117.80. Hopefully that will come through for. Did we just get it? Yes, we did. Okay, man, this is a great afternoon. I think I'll be wearing my guy's ice vest here for a little bit longer right now because this has been, wow, what a move. Yes. All right, here we go, man. Nice move to the downside right now. Here's $1.40, man. We just put this out. This is $2 from our last reload right down to the downside. And what was I just saying, man? We just said maybe we get a little lower right here, right now. Nice move lower on the future, on oil right now. And we trade USO. And there she goes right now. Wow, we might be into something right here again. We talked about that silver trade. That was huge for us last time. We're getting that feels again right now for this USO trade as we get right down to the lows one more time. I'm going to put a bid coming in right here. Nice move. No, I cannot. Nice move right down there to the downside. There goes USO, man. We are now breaking lower and lower and lower. Again, Andre, why did it work, man? I mean, sometimes you got to get lucky. This was just going upside down, right? So you're underneath VWAP, you're underneath the 200 period, you're underneath VWAP. There's the little break right there. We take that short with a momentum break. We like the story. It goes, it goes, it goes, and boom, yes, there it goes, Neil. Now we are now $2 plus in the money. We props it up right now, and that's how we go. Oh man, not being here tomorrow might hurt, but we're going to be here in the morning, not in the afternoon. Great trading, man. Here it comes the downside. It's USO, and oh boy, we're starting to break a little lower right now, and we still have a decent position position on. We still have a lot of shares here on this trade. So let's keep on going to the downside right now. Yeah, big time trade alert over on this side with USO.
Yeah, likewise, and it looks like, so it was like, why is it working? Well, I think if we get a headline that's positive for the war ending and the market's going to go higher, then that should send energy stocks to the downside. If the reason why they were all going absolutely ham before, spiking up, and whether that's gas, it's natural gas, or that's going to be oil futures or whatever, it doesn't matter. Then when we get a positive headline, in this case, I consider that a positive headline, we're going to head back into the downside. Look, I have a target on this one. I'm going to respect, if I'm trading off the trend, I'm going to respect the support down here. So if it goes, at this point, we got over 2%. We'll take it, 2.5 right now. I'm looking for that bid right in here at that 1865. So that's basically going to get what we want here at the bottom. And again, everyone different stuff. For me, we get the bottom. I'll take it out. Look for the next
beautiful trade, my
there.
guy. Beautiful trade.
We'll see what ends up next. Oh, man, Tesla.
Let's go.
That 380 was...
Guys, thank you for all the talk, man. Yeah, Neil, go get it, man. Get it. Let's just keep on going. This has been a great opportunity to make that money. And there it goes to the downside, USO. We talked about this, and we are very, very excited to do it. Glad that we're all in here making some cash today. Volatility creates movement, and for sophisticated traders, movement creates opportunity. Beta Pro by Global X offers Canada's first and longest running suite of levered and inverse levered ETFs built for sophisticated investors who understand the risks of leverage and the importance of precision. Its triple levered bull and bear ETFs tied to the Nasdaq 100 index are designed for daily tactical trades, providing amplified daily exposure and giving trader tools to engage with both upward momentum and market pullbacks. These strategies are currency hedged, seeking to offset US dollar exposure back to the Canadian dollar. For those navigating short-term market moves, up or down, Beta Pro offers the flexibility to act with conviction. Whatever that looks like for your individual strategies, objectives, and risk profiles, please trade tactically and adjust it according to your risk profile. Thank you to Global X for sponsoring this segment. And I'd also like to thank USO and Oil for sponsoring this segment as well, as it is getting to the downside. And, you know, you never know where your bread is buttered. And we didn't even trade this until the afternoon. So it's a nice little downward surprise happening right here for oil this afternoon, as hopefully, we have some de-escalation over in the Middle East. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if that's happening now or not. But nice little movement here, needless to say, for our good friends USO. And we are now $3 in the money and going a little lower now as we just continue to do it there.
I'm just throwing up some headlines.
Yeah,
Just ask, what's the news? Why is it going on? There was multiple things coming from Netanyahu. One of them is this: Israel helping U.S. open the Strait of Hormuz. One of the other ones is saying after I guess this amount of attacking, Iran's ability to enrich uranium is basically gone. Which in theory is like, okay, well then maybe that's mission accomplished. The market has been screaming to the upside because of it. So it's Netanyahu and the market liking what...
The market just turned positive.
Yeah, we just went green on the day. The ES went green a while ago. The Nasdaq just went green on the day, but the SPY has been absolutely flying. My first course of action is, now that we've bounced off the low, look for the re-entry to the short, and I'll probably respect like the channel top, like so the support channel here on Boyle. We'll look for that to come back into 19 and then try to get back into that one in any kind of a pop. But overall, you're just seeing the Q and the SPY, whatever you're watching. Like, this is the inverse of it. Like, you could also be playing the market long is working as much as it is energy to the south side for sure. So that's what we're looking at right now. And I just think it's going to be short the pop situation back over in bull, which is what I'm just choosing and electing to trade into. Well, so crazy. We like it with the market. We like that this is happening. And believe me, if the war was over, we wouldn't be up 0.5%, 0.0 or flat. Yeah. Like if it was that, it would be a completely different move. Like you would see some things break to the upside.
Yeah, and this would be Tank City, and then you would see some celebratory actions. Wow, okay, here it is. I mean, we're going lower and lower and lower. Our quotes can't even keep up right now with this oil trade, man. I mean, you want to talk about getting some glizzies in your face right there. This is getting to the downside very aggressively. We're now $3.30 in the money as oil continues to go lower. We just got a 50. We just get 115. We got 116.07 right there. I mean, I'm just going to put a bid out and see if we get hit. Well, we just got hit. It is a big time movement to the downside right now as more talk about oil, more talk about the Straits of Hormuz. There we go, man. There it goes. Huge monster move right now in USO. And we've almost got the whole thing, man. Not only do we have the whole thing, we have it 4 times right there to the downside. So yeah, crude really falling sharply now into, okay, I'm not gonna put out any more bids. Like, where exactly is this going, man? We're here to trade. We're here to put on some, hopefully some big winners. Looks like we got one right now. This is one, I mean, I might put some bids out here. 114.70. Let's see if we can get that, man. Wow, monster movement here in crude, man. I hope you guys, some of you have some of this because that was quite the opportunity there, man, as we get going to this. You might be right, Big Scalp. This is potentially because of this ice vest. I'm going to send this over to Mark, man. It's the ice vest. It's the glasses. Shout out, Big Scalp. I haven't seen you on here very often, but I see they're a pretty funny one. So there it is, man. You have to have the confidence. We talked about that. Shout out to Adara. Maybe she'll be back in there tomorrow. So, but yeah, man, that's what we're doing right now. Just big trade alerts. And I think that's what we're looking for. Amazon, I mean, a lot of stocks going to the upside right here as well as the market just keeps on pumping, baby.
Well, the Nasdaq actually just turned, and the ES both went back red. So a little bit of a pullback just happened, but it's still heading to the upside. Another note here from Netanyahu. I'd put it up, but it hasn't really hit our scanner yet. The war will end way faster than most people think, was the latest quote. So I think that just goes right back with what we're thinking. I'm now looking flat bottom break that just happened on Boyle. So if we can't get back up to the channel top, let's respect how much further this has to go. But if we don't get any kind of a bounce, which I expect we would at least get something off the $18 level, then I don't want to say look for reversion because I don't want to be on the bid of it. But there's a point at which you get so far down that I would look for a reversion on it. So yeah, and then Netanyahu was continuing to talk. I won't put a stopwatch on ending the war was one of the last things he just said there. But this is the reason why the market is heading to the downside for sure. I want to see what's going on with my CV. Because what I hope to see right now is not that bad on a name like a CVX. Because I think there'd be an opportunity for this to oversell on this. If I was going to look reversion bounce long, it wouldn't be in, like, I wouldn't look for like oil futures or anything futures related. I'd look for an individual stock in the energy space that's been strong, like a CVX. So if I see a curl, I'd rather go here. But I'm not looking there yet. Still looking for an re-entry into the short.
We just got 114.80s here on USO, giving us $4 and change right there. Like, again, not just a bid that I had sitting there. So I'm just going to wait now to see if we can get lower and lower and lower on USO right now. I mean, I feel like it's already, giving us, I mean, like I'd mentioned there, the P&L is what it is. It doesn't matter. But like, I'm starting to scalp it out. Like, I don't want all of this to just all of a sudden disappear on me. I don't know how many shares I have left. I hit this thing 3 or 4 times. So I would say probably maybe 25% left, something like that. So we are starting to piece out for those of you that are asking or wondering about what we're doing on this trade. I mean, we could hope for lower, obviously. I mean, you want to hope for a resolution. You want to hope for peaceful talk about the strait there, peaceful talk from Netanyahu and Israel. I'm just hearing in my ear that, they acted alone on that gas field explosion there, and then that President Trump has asked for less of this action to be happening, which is probably why we are getting a little bit of a downturn here, that's for sure. And there it is. So nice little bounce back upside. So just clearing out some of these trades. I mean, this can bounce pretty far, and I still pretty chill. Let me put a bid there for another 10% of what we have left at 116 right now. And so we just get that fill and, sit on our hands, I think might be okay. There's only 40 minutes left until the end of the day. So yeah, the trade is working out right now, and we've made back a lot of our day right here just with this one trade. So yeah, it's been a good one. I mean, obviously NVIDIA and some of those other names started to rip up there as well on this kind of a talk, and the Nasdaq really went flying, man. I mean, including Intel really took off to the upside there, up 3% as well. We got out of that one pretty early as we were short at 44.80, and that's it. So in and out there on Intel, and I mean, when we lose, we hopefully lose like that, and when we win, we put some damage on the board with a trade on USO. But hey, man, when you're trading prop, it's all about risk management. So you got to try to manage your risk right there. Yeah, that's funny. This is a shout out to Adara, man. That confidence thing, I thought it was, Adara is so funny. There it is right there. So thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, that's there it is. We even have a little graphic for that one there as well. So there it is, man. What's up to Thea? Shout out to you and that. So yeah.
Yeah, go.
We're just gonna hold on to this now and see what happens.
Can't pronounce that one. Who said? What was that?
I didn't even see the name.
Chago. Okay.
Chago.
See, well, look, man. We'll mispronounce names all the time, and so thank you for the correction there on Chago in the chat. All right, so I think we're getting that little minute bounce. Here, so I want that to pull back into the prior support, and if we do get it, it's about 18.6. That's where I'll be watching. Oh wow, did Bitcoin get back to 70K? Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. Also, if Bitcoin gets back underneath 70,000, I might think that's a reversion too. But over 70,000 was that line in the sand, and I'm like, well, you don't want to mess around if we're going to hold 70K on BTC. That is for sure, and I love what's going on with this market. I want us to hold green. That's going to be big. If you can't hold green here, then what was the point of us getting this news? That's why I think you stick with it. We only have about 45 minutes to go. The imbalances might be a little something. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like some kind of an energy ETF on the Amex. Uh-oh, happened to my stock window. On the Amex that does show up. And if I do see an early look on an energy name, I'm going to go right over to that. So I guess the bounce only got to about 1844, so I'll try to get into the mid to high 30s. Thought we were going to get a little bit higher there before jumping back into the short for sure. So we're going to try and short these, short the pops here, which would be effectively continuing with this trend that we've got. Throw up the super chat from Nick. Buying strength on intraday pullbacks. Bought STX call and stock off the 388 pullback. Great trading today. Good luck. So STX. All right. All right, Nick. Dubs. I know you usually do a lot of swing trading, but is that? I like buying the dips on. I mean, anything that you happen to like. This is the one that you mentioned this morning. Yeah, I remember this. That was the downward channel trend trade. Bounce off the support level. I love the look of that chart. Huge fan. Love that chart.
I just sent this trade to Obi, and he's like, LFG, baby. He's loving this, right? Because this is the kind of trading that he and I talk about, and we love this. I mean, there it goes, right down there to the downside. I don't think he had this particular one, but he got excited when I showed him that, because we talked about trying to add to these positions on bumps when we're feeling something, and that was a good one, man. What goes bump in the night? Oil tonight. That should be a good blue ocean trade as well. So get ready for some actionable trading here on OIH or USO or any of these names that happen to be buzzing around. Okay, I mean, can we get back to that? I'm going to put a bid at 115. I mean, like I said, you never know where you're going to get filled. Let's go to 115.10 or so. We'll put out a little piece, and then we'll see if we can hold the rest. This time I'm being serious, right into close. Like, for me, there's really no need to be battling with this. If it's going to close lower, fine, we can hold it. My stop is, I didn't even change it, but I mean, it's still up here, but we should probably think about maybe a 50 period or something like that. It's too bad that we did get a little bit more there. We could have got a little bit more at 120, but we didn't. So we'll just stand put there. And each one of these, like, it looks like I have a lot of outs, but like, they're just little amounts of shares every single time I'm getting out. So I got to get better at getting out of the full Monty every time. And if I can do that, then watch out now. But for right here, it's like when I get stopped out, you get stopped out of it all. So when I win, it's like, okay, trying to make back a little bit of those stops and blah, 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 blah. So just trying to deal with that as we go. Okay, Google is now testing out their yeah, nice move there. They're going to test out their Gemini on their Macs. Apparently now, some sort of a Mac app getting tested with Google. So we can wait to see there. Go over to Apple and see what's going on. I mean, look, there's oil. We just got it. More glizzies to the side of your face right there, as there goes USO right back into 115 again. Oh boy. Yeah, man, this is a pretty good one here today, as we'll just sit back, relax, and thank this ice vest for a couple decent trades here as we go. But all kidding aside, man, I hope you guys are having a great day. It's 3:18, still lots of trades to go through with right now. What's up, Dan R. and everybody? What's up to Brian Brian the Trader? Thank you, guys. Get into the chat and hit us up, man. We're always very, very interested and excited to hear what you guys have and what kind of trades you guys are looking for.
NVIDIA, red or green at the close? Can I make it? I have nothing against NVIDIA, but like right now, oil's moving the most. Micron had the earnings. It's not an NVIDIA. It's not an NVIDIA day. Like the ES, the Nasdaq, or energy related, I think would make a little bit more sense. But maybe that's just me. And if you want an NVIDIA poll, we could do that there. But it does feel like could the ES actually hold green would be more interesting, because we're exactly the ES is literally at 0 with 40 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Like exactly at 0. I feel like that would be a little bit more interesting there. And we can throw that up if you want. Maybe, how about this? If you want a poll for energy futures, so to call it oil, where it's gonna close, do one, put ones in the chat. If you want NVIDIA, put 2s. If you want the SPY, put 3s.
Yeah.
And we'll eyeball it, right? So energy 1, and we'll go NVIDIA 2, respect that, and then 3 we'll go for the SPY, because I kind of feel like that's the easiest way to do it. I'm eyeballing, let it go for a couple of seconds in the chat, but my eye tells me it's definitely 1 or 3. There is no 4. What is wrong with you people? There is no 7 as well. I'm seeing a bunch of 3s. It's going to be the SPY, or it's going to be oil futures. Not many for NVIDIA. So how about that?
Okay. Yeah. What, could we not put a poll up, or what's
Oh, I can do it. I have to log out of my account and log back into the other one.
Well, Andre, Fabian's over there.
Fabian is there. Fabian, if you can, it looks, I don't know, from the eyeball, it does look like let's go oil futures. For SPY, it would be red or green, but for oil futures, you have to pick a price, because you can't pick red or green. It's too far away at this point. So you got to pick an arbitrary number. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at this trade. I was just letting you roll with that one. So, yeah, whatever you guys decide on that over there. Okay, yeah, so just looking around, Amazon's doing a little bit of bump action here. So let's go have a look and see what Amazon's doing. 208 and change. Obviously, the futures just had a little bit of a rip moment there. And you could see Amazon. I mean, all these names came right into some awesome. Like, if I wasn't in this USO, like, I'm just focused on it, like, how could you not be short right up in here? NVIDIA, Amazon, I mean, I have to look at NVIDIA, sorry. Amazon right there, the other name that we just looked at. A lot of things are double touching right up here to the highs. Obviously, every trade that you make is a risky one. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna work out, but this is something that I like. And in hindsight, I wish I was sitting there doing it. But again, like every move down, I'm just looking over here at USO. So, okay, let's go look at IBIT. I mean, obviously, IBIT's starting to go here. We can check out silver. I mean, silver was on my radar today as well. We had USO, BABA, Tesla, TQs, silver on the sticky note there. So we can just take a quick little look at this and see, there goes IBIT. Taking out the day's high, yeah, so right into there. So shorting IBIT at the highs would not have worked. But that's a good little trade there, 39.80 coming into play there for IBIT. I mean, that would be a good little area to see about dip buying if possible. I'm gonna just continue to play the short, but IBIT's looking pretty good there. Nice healthy bounce off of 70K again today. I think the lowest it got was probably 69. We did see 69,000. I think we did get a, let me have a quick little look here at the dollar, because as oil was going to the downside, so this is another story with the dollar here as well. As the market goes to the downside, oil, you could see the dollar as well floating lower there. So that makes sense. We're happy with that. Not going to panic, but it is making a move back upside. So, you know, we had talked about this a little while ago when we were trading silver. We wanted to have the DXY up to have a quick little look. This is just a 1 minute chart, so we've got to wait for that next minute to candle out there. But, you know, nice little bump up right there on the USO. So far, so good there. And then let's just have a quick little broader look. We don't have Sia nor Adara, as Sia's gone back to class. She'll be starting full-time with us in April when she is done school, and then Adara with the day off today. By the way, USO just went to 115 again, so we cashed out more there. Wow. I mean, honestly, man, this is go face slapper. No idea that this trade was going to build out the way it did, and just really excited to get that. And now I'm learning more and more every day. Like, you just got to wait for news on those plays. Okay, AMD, Intel, good little levels there today. Up 2.5, up 2.75. Micron up 2% here as well. Good day for Micron. Despite, I say good day, even though it's down 2%, it's just the fact that Micron had a horrible start to the day, down 7-8%. So we like the way Micron's pairing out today. Tesla just broke that 380. Apparently it came back, but they're not having a good day today as they worry about some FSD concerns in Tesla, and 3 or 4 accidents reported that aren't going over well with the regulators. Eli Lilly there, I love, what's J&J at 237? Let me have a quick look at J&J. This is a name that if there's one, if a stock gets on the struggle bus and its name is J&J, then I am relieving it of that struggle bus because I want to buy as much J&J as possible on downward takes. And it's getting close to that rate now. So Johnson & Johnson 250 down into 237.
At the 50.
Yeah, it's not even at the 50 yet. That's how strong this name is. And just look at it off the 50 period moving average. This is July of last year, 25. We've come into the 50, into the 50, into the 50, on to the next.
Stock respects the 50.
On to the next. Yeah, so we'll see if it comes into play there. I'm a holder of J&J for probably 20 years here, but you know, just a dividend aristocrat. Definitely like the name, but I'm trying to get some capital appreciation. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if we can buy some good dips on J&J. Lovey, the name. Will the SPY turn red or green today is the poll.
I promise it was at 0 when I did it. Now it's...
That's okay.
It was exactly at 0.
The answer will still be green. So there it is. Green right there is what I'm choosing. So let's see what winds up happening right now with that poll and with said trading on the SPY. What did you select?
Oh, same thing. But it was before this poll. No, I wouldn't necessarily change it. But I literally just reloaded and Boyle in this bottom consolidation, and we're at that 0. But again, if I'm going to re-enter here based off of this wick, then I'm going to get out if it breaks that wick as well. So got that bottom consolidation look here, and with about 5 minutes to go, it's probably not a bad time to give the early look up.
No.
Look at that volume. The NVIDIA is so much.
These are good time.
NVIDIA does so much more volume than everything else in the market. It's insane. Sun B, I think we saw this the other day. Ignore it. This was a nothing burger. GDX is a buy of 2.5 million to the buy side. BMNR is a buy of 2.2 million. That could be worth looking at. There's been some opportunities to trade that at the close when it has an imbalance. The SPY itself is a buy imbalance of 1 million. Well, hey, that helps the whole green thing. Pins 1 million to the sell side. SOXL sell of 850,000. Oh, that's not good SMR. Well, it is good 850 buy imbalance, but it's probably meaningless. They're not having a good time of it. SMR. That's a chart that you don't want to look at. Talk about companies that don't make money. We're talking about that the other day with IonQ. It wasn't IonQ.
It was one of those days. Probably was Oklo.
It was Oklo. Oklo was pre-revenue, which is a different way of, yeah, usually you want to criticize people for not making money, not making profits. Oklo is like pre-revenue. Those companies, you cannot think about fundamentals with them. They are those lottery tickets that we were talking about before. It's okay to have them, but know what it is that you have. You know, I don't mind sitting in those when they give it back when you hold some for the dream, but like they're very much not like buying the dip in Apple or buying the dip in, you were talking about J&J or AbbVie recently got a pretty good dip. Feel like that for a dividend name as well.
All right, Joe. Here you go. Let's go. Joe's going to take the cup. I have absolutely no luck with this. Here, you get to get it, and we'll see if you can Get me a winner over there. This is the time. All right, Joe. We got to get that camera on, Joe. This is going to be a big roll up. Get ready. I mean, I'm just deciding on what color the car is going to be. I'm pretty sure we're going to win this Volkswagen Buzz. So, all right, Joe, man. Yeah, stretch it out. Get stretched out there, and make sure you do. Absolutely, a lot of pressure on you for this roll, Joe. A lot of pressure. Potentially job riding on this rate. Come on, man. Don't even tell me it's a loser. It has to be. Please play again. Okay. That means it's a winner. The guy's holding it back on me right now.
No.
Yeah, too bad, man. And again, if it touches my hands, those cups do have no chance of winning. So Randy rolled up a donut there the other day.
Chance of winning the donut or the coffee?
I think it's 1 in 6.
Oh, it's better than 1 in 10?
I'd have to read it up. My odds are definitely at least 1 in 10 there, man.
Okay, well, you should have won one by now.
Yeah, we should have won. Oh, no, I did. I mean, I won. Gia rolled it up, and we won a coffee the other day. That's what I got today.
But you went online,
right? Yeah, that was a win online. I have another. I have a roll online. You get a roll when you do it. I'm going to roll this up right now online and see if we can.
I'm a traditionalist.
Get a win,
like especially with the McDonald's stuff. I'm all about. I know you do it online, but we still keep the board and the stickers.
Yeah. You fill out that little board. Yeah, you put the stickers up on there. It's all good. Okay, roll up the rim to win right here. Oh, I do not have any extra rolls, unfortunately. Sorry about that, everybody. But okay. Oh yeah, because I didn't get one today because I used the free one there. So, all right, you got a super chat up in there, the Hindu piranhas or whatever you're asking for here. Let's throw up a fan funding and see what we've got. Okay, here it is right here. There he goes. Okay, 400 shares of Coinbase. Decent amount of shares there. $200 average. I don't even know what Coinbase is at right now. I guess I should look that up to answer this question. Keep for a few days. You want me to ask the 8-ball? Hold on a second here. Coinbase right now. 400 shares. You're in the money, $1,600 right now. Not that that would ever matter, but I do think that you want to take profits at some points. You do have a nice little high area there of 205. I think Bitcoin, I mean, let's see. I already voted ES to get positive today. It doesn't look like that might be happening. But if there is a little late day rally in the markets, I think you could probably get this 205. So, I mean, why not take out 100 shares there? You know, I mean, you can clearly see the way I trade, so it's going to be my recommendation. But yeah, maybe get some out at 204, buy yourself a nice little sweater there, and then wait to see if it does go bump in the night. I mean, I like Coinbase here. I do think that Bitcoin, I recently bought some Bitcoin. I do think that for me anyways, it's in the pocket, and I would take some out now on Coinbase. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, right? It hasn't been a great week, obviously, for the markets, as we had a nice little downside play there yesterday. We just got back to positive today. On the week here, you have Coinbase with a high of 214. So, you could get back into those levels. But for me, even just looking at a chart is kind of useless. I mean, if it gaps tomorrow, then you're going to be into 207, 208, 209. And then you're going to feel like, oh man, why did I get out? But I would take the opportunity, put something in your pocket, and then play with house money. And that way you're shut down. If you're going to stop out on a 200 break, like break even, then at least you made $300 if you take out 100 shares right now. So something to think about over there. That's for sure.
Another one there, Andre, if you can throw it up.
Sure, yeah.
Got another super chat. That's what I heard. It's from Easy Peasy. Of course, it's Easy Peasy. We haven't heard from you today, have we? You got the 2%, the 0.2% again. So thank you for the $10. Micron up, down, 4K plus, beautiful. The beautiful after show 4K. Discord almost done. All TTV have channels, fan posts, free if you are a Trader TV subscriber or super chat Trader TV proof. Okay, so you're.
Message us everything marketing at tradertv.live. Just message us.
Give us the details.
Marketing at tradertv.live, and we'll have a look at that, and we'll see if we can stamp that as.
Bovin in the chat, it is witching tomorrow. It is the third Friday, and of course it's March, right? So this would be like the quarterly rebalancing as well. So there's some big imbalances actually. Here's some of what we're supposed to. Tomorrow, Lyft is supposed to be a 54 million buy, Intel 37 million buy, VRT 70 million buy. Like there's some gigantic numbers. Apple sell 21 million. Like and we'll go over those tomorrow. But it is witching and quarterly rebalancing. We'll see some ridiculous imbalances tomorrow. Immortal. Thank you again. 15K day to day. There you go. Giving back to the people that make it all happen. Couldn't do anything without you, TTV. Shorted this market pop. for you guys. So this afternoon, I think a lot of people want to see it stay green. But the market doesn't seem to want to stay green.
I mean,
it is heading. We're heading back down.
We talked about that short. I mean, it was a little risky short. I don't know if you shorted the Nasdaq or the SPY. It was a little riskier shorting the Nasdaq against that high yesterday, but yeah, nice move there into play. There's Coinbase, sorry. And if it was the SPY, I mean, I think you nailed that one, man. I mean, right there, right into the 200 period moving average. So great job shorting that. And then it looks like it goes into a couple days ago, closing prices. But that's a little bit of a nitpick all the way back there. But nice job there, right against the 200 period, man. You've got horse sense, so we will fire off some glizzies for that one. And thank you so much for the super chat as, yeah, man, real sees real, and that was a real trade right there. 15 grand, Jesus. Nice one there, my guy. But yeah, man, just some good looks overall in the market today. And, you know, we really hit it with oil. Obviously, we couldn't be happier. Rivian down. So I've only traded, I mean, I know you traded many more names than me today, but Intel, Rivian, Qs, and USO. So just 3 names for me today. And we'll go 2 for, we traded 4 names. Fannie Mae right away off the open. We traded a little bit there and then tried to buy some dips there. We're positive on it, but no real money there. Fannie, Intel, Rivian, Qs, USO, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. Positive on just 2 of them. And actually 2. Well, Fannie Mae, so 2, 2, and 1. Fannie Mae's a pretty flat day there. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, obviously, and see if we can do some more, some more trades. But so far, so good here as we just get ready. It's only a half hour left. No major earnings, I don't believe, tonight, and you guys can correct me. It's just FedEx, I believe.
FedEx,
okay, FDX.
FedEx is major
earnings. They're not
earnings.
pre-market, okay.
Wait, no, pretty sure. I'll double check. Usually, you know what? Usually we have a Dara, and by the time I say I'll double check, like she's already given us the answer. But I'm pretty sure it's only FedEx after the bell today, and we'll see. But it's more of a market. What's the word I'm looking for? Not litmus test. It's kind of just more like a barometer for the market more than it is a trade. It's not the kind of thing anyone ever day trades, if we're being real about it. But it's certainly going to be an important indicator for the overall health of the economy, which I guess could be a bit of a thing. But Boyle just broke this line, which is support, right? So if I'm re-entering the short, if we held it to the support level and then it broke underneath, I'll play a short consolidation under. But once it breaks, then I'm going to jump out of it. And I see you have it up there. Yeah, it's just FedEx.
Yeah, right there. Post-market FedEx and tomorrow's XPeng. We had Alibaba today. Some of the Chinese names. We had NIO had a good run off earnings, so that might be somewhere to look, right? I mean, Alibaba today was down 8% early. Did have a nice bounce. I think it got hit again back down.
It's been barcoding.
Okay, barcoding there on Alibaba.
Hardcore barcoding.
Yeah, more to look at though with Alibaba, I think. Just trying to get sort of our ducks all lined up there and what we're doing. So post-market is just FedEx, Red Cat, Micron. Five Below had a great report also. So shout out to Five Below there, traders of that name. Well received.
I just wrote on the iPad this like long consolidation on Alibaba that it's got going on here because it never got to the 128 for a short today, which is what it is, but it never got there. If tomorrow it breaks that level down, like look at all the support that Baba had. That's intense. If it breaks this long line, you held this from 11:30 to now and barely got anywhere on that bounce. You're down that much and you don't even do anything with it. This could end up, the problem is it's overnight Asia. Baba tends to gap away from wherever it was trading the day before. But if we're underneath 124, to me, that's going to be a short tomorrow on Alibaba. It's just never set up for the short. By the time the only way you could have the 128 short is if you shorted at 8:30, and we had the economic number at 8:30. And I'm never entering a position in the pre-market. Like the level doesn't matter as an economic number is coming out. Is the way I want to say that. It's completely useless. Your technical level, whenever you have economic data, wait till after the fact, and it never really gave you that chance again. Market gonna stay green? Not looking like it.
No, it doesn't look like it there. Yeah, like I was saying though, just about that pre-market. I mean, we did. Like I said, I think for me the second best trade today was a pre-market technical level, and it was just on news, right? I mean, obviously this is why I'm emptying it out as we go to the downside there on this trade, breaking through VWAP. I mean, it didn't even get going really until the market opened, and then it was a nice little downside play there on my friend Rivian today. So again, if it gives you the levels, the trade becomes a lot easier than when it doesn't give you the levels. So a good little take there on Rivian today, downside as it bleeds from that pre-market high on Uber news. We can have a quick look over here at Uber and just have a quick look to see what it's doing today. Yeah, a little bit of a bump up early again on that. I know I keep saying Marvell, NVIDIA, and Google, but Uber is another name that I'm uber excited about. I haven't bought anything on the dips here though for Uber, but it's been something that's been in the portfolio for a while, and I think can continue to work, especially if autonomous vehicles is going to be a thing. I think with this new release there during GTC with NVIDIA, making it easier and easier to apply autonomy to any vehicle is what we're hoping for with some of these chips that NVIDIA is working on. And they did sign a deal with Uber to get that worked on. So Uber, with their sort of mass amount of drivers and everything there, I could really see a point of that becoming something for Uber.
You still have,
yeah, there
I thought you had the chart up for Uber. I love that hold of the 50, which is happening on Uber. The 50 period on the daily. But I want to shout out to, is it Dr. Thunder on Twitter? Oh, not Twitter, over there on TikTok, is asking about Sienna. Funny story, Sienna up 6.5%. I'm not making this one up. Sienna was in the group, of 4 at the time small cap stocks when I was a trainee. That was like, if you were in the big cap section, you knew these 4 stocks you were looking at to trade, and then these 4 stocks in small cap, and then once you got positive, you could start trading whatever you wanted. So when I moved over to small cap stocks, Sienna was in that first group, because I used to trade that every single day when it was like a baby. And great stock today. I mean, 6.5%, like what are you supposed to say? Into a market which hadn't done much. But we talked about this with Brian Shannon. Sometimes when everyone else is looking to buy the dip in stocks that look like, I hate to say it again, the trade desk, or others that might be like that, there's others that have been steadily upward trending, like this name. Like, what else can you say? This is the 50-period moving average. It respects the 50. If you buy the 50 and you like it, then congratulations to you. Like everyone usually has their own, I love this stock at all prices. Whoops, I didn't mean to type in GE. Most of you that probably watch the show know that I probably meant to type in G Vernova and not GE. Like, you might like a stock that's in an upward trend, and it's like, well, what do? You buy the dip when it shows you the moving average that you like. Like this one recently bounced off the 50-period moving average. And I'll continue to want to like that one. Buy some, take some profit, buy that 50 period. So I love that on Sienna. Dr. Thunder.
All right. My son got some more PC parts here today. I hope he has some luck putting those all together.
Got all week.
Yeah. We're all good there. He's got a cooler there. We're ready to go. Okay. Getting ready to go is right. And I don't know if this market's getting ready to go.
Pro Cleaners is asking you a question about USO for tomorrow on TikTok. Specifically, Pro Cleaners is asking, you think USO going to continue the trend down tomorrow? So not today, tomorrow on the higher side.
Tomorrow. Okay. Will USO continue its move down tomorrow?
Will you be able to read? It's a bit.
I thought we were getting another one here, Mr. Westermeyer, coming in here.
Daniel, this one's
it doesn't say anything. Okay, so let me have a quick little look there for you, my guy. Look, thanks for the question. I think it's a valid one. Remember, I just want to say something about this USO. Obviously, we're here on that. It's the biggest stock today, not even close for me, and it's probably one of the biggest stocks on the month for me, and it's just off this trade today. So, once it gets going and the volume kind of picks up, you could see sort of the reaction that the stock can have. So I can't predict, like, tomorrow if the market's going to have an up day or a down day as far as controversy in the Middle East or anything like that. What I would say to you, and again, thank you for the question, thanks for watching us on TikTok, is just that you got to wait to hear about what the story is going to be. And I mean, if we start talking about, the strait opening up again or some shipments being allowed through, vice versa, anything like that, then yeah, I do think that we could continue this pretty easily tomorrow, to be honest with you. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the trade, and I do think that we can get that tomorrow one more time. So yeah, I'm here for it. Let's just stay tuned. Join us live tomorrow, and like I said, Obi will be here in the afternoon, but I'll be here in the morning, and we'll be looking to trade some more USO. So we'll try to get the vibe. If I see anything, I'll put it on the note tomorrow morning as well. But again, thanks for all the questions, and keep them coming, both here on YouTube and on TikTok and all that. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. It's so news based, right? It was just like when silver started to go as well, and now oil today. It could be doing absolutely nothing, and then you wait for it. So I think moving forward, I'll probably look at VWAP in the afternoons, and if we're underneath it, then that gives me the story that oil is down, and we'll try to play that momentum. But other than that, man, yeah, great question. Thanks for it, and keep watching us on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And with six minutes till the imbalances, BMNR is gone, so forget about that for a while. But GDX is still there as a 2 million buy. CMG 1.5, NEM 1.6. That's Sun B. That's still there. SMR is now even bigger. It's now 1.1 million to the buy side. Pinterest a sell of 1 million. Hey, Figma 1 million to the buy side. See, somebody wants to buy Figma. You know it's been a good reversal day when someone actually wants to buy some Figma shares. But I think GDX is going to be worth a watch here. Again, it just comes down to, we've been talking about this for a while. If it's got a big imbalance and it's on the Amex, there's been some opportunities. This one makes a lot of sense to watch. The metal's been, I know we've been not necessarily talking about it as much as you could today, but the metal's been pretty volatile. Silver's down 5% and has been trending up the entirety of the session, and is down 5%. So to say there's volatility in the metals would be a bit of an understatement there. So of course, GDX being gold miner ETF, for those that don't know, down 6% today, and has also been trending up. So with 5 minutes till those imbalances come out, I'll be watching this buy and balance. Ideally, the way I'd prefer to play this, because I think I've seen this work better, is if you get a flip. Like I'd be looking, right now it's 2 million to buy. I'd want to see that pair off and have an opportunity to short it off the high. Like that's the look that's what I'm hoping for. I want that 2 million to see a drastic reduction and then try to fade it off of the high. Fade would just mean short off the top. It's another way of saying it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, with 344 left, 344 right now, 5 minutes left only until the imbalances. Something to look at there. Will the market turn green into the close? Let me just take a quick look here at the poll. I said yes to green, so we still have some time here. I still think it can go up upside here, especially with some good feels back in the market. We already got that super chat. Thank you so much. $15,000, man, that is worth this 10 times out of 10. So that day is... I was gonna say many people's years, but most day traders don't make any money. So 15,000 is an absolutely great job. And like I say to everybody, man, whenever we got a great super chat last week from Danny Boy, and I don't know if you guys remember that one. I got, that was a pretty special one. And I just wanted to say, whenever you're making that kind of money, 15 grand or, 10 grand, 5 grand, whatever, that's significant. So, put some aside and don't blow your account up. Just because you had a good day today doesn't mean the same strategies will work tomorrow or anything like that. Just put that money aside, man, and still trade with it. I mean, turn that money over a couple times if you can, but definitely put some risk parameters on your account and don't get yourself nailed to the wall because, one party today could be, an upsetting move tomorrow. So let's just, make sure you do keep that money in your pocket, at least a certain percentage of it, and a great, great trade. And thank you again for the super chat. It's all about risk management. All right, Amazon. So another name, I kind of like the stock. We talked about it this year. Once it got hit there, I put out a little bit of not a piece, but I just talked a little bit about it when it got hit down here, and I put it on Twitter, and it was well liked and loved. I don't know how many likes it had, but it was one of the biggest posts, I think, of the year for me. And I just thought that they got it a little wrong on this move down. I did not buy anything because I did think the market was going to get a little lower, but I like Amazon. I just feel that all this spend on CapEx, like if they don't make this spend, then they're not going to get all those deals that they're closing in on, right? We know how big Anthropic's going to be. Apparently, Amazon's got to support that with AWS. So, you know, the build outs and all the CapEx, if they don't do it, somebody else will. And you're already seeing, they're one of the last ones to report. Microsoft put out money, Google put out money, right? So Meta put out money. If you don't, then the market's going to see that as a negative. So let's be careful with Amazon. They already had said that they feel that it can accrue to more profits on even their retail side. So the Amazon app, they feel that they can get some capital going off of that by recommending more things to buy and just getting a better algorithm. So if that happens, and you know, read the reviews, and I don't know exactly how they're going to use it, but it's more than a story of AWS as far as their build out. So I do like Amazon, and yeah, we'll just wait for it. We only have 10 seconds, 2 minutes left, and then 10 minutes. But yeah, this oil, I don't know if it's going to do anything, man. We've now crossed up the 50 and the 25. So I think I'm just going to stop out, end of the trade of the month for me right here at 1766. So I'm going to put that cancel in, put 17. Let's go to 71.
Month ain't over.
Right there. Yeah, month ain't over yet. I mean, I hope we can do more trades like this. That's for sure. And we'll just go like that, boom. And we'll see if it does dip down. But, you know, just making sure that, oh no, what order did, what, I put in $17. Instead of, so I don't even know why I'd even accepted that order.
Have accepted that. I don't think so.
All right, whatever, man. I'm gonna go short again then. How about that? All right, we'll just punch into the short, and now we'll put the right order. I just punched in the same amount of shares I had, so 117.71, okay, there for the stop. This won't look like as much of a trade, obviously, but that's okay. We did put in the wrong order. Let's just see if it holds. And if it doesn't, man, that's a pretty easy stop, and we won't wind up giving much back. So 1 minute before these imbalances, that's the stop. And there's another keystroke error, so, you know, hosting the show and trading is not the easiest, but we try to do that over here, and we'll see if we have a downside play. For me, honestly, if we can go 1-to-1 on this and a little bit better, what about a 116? That fill right there is 50s at the 200 period. That gets us 1-to-1 as well. So I'm gonna put something at 116 here and see if we can make a little bit of cash on this trade.
Yeah, been there, done that when it comes to the
shares.
They happen. I had one today. Sometimes you get in, you just got to punch right out. Like sometimes, GDX, that'll be a nothing burger because much like BMNR, it looks like GDX is already paired off. The trade for me would have been at 350. I see it pair and then take the short, but if it's already gone on the early look, there's no advantage. NGD is now cropping up here as early 2.5, but 2.8 million to the buy side, but we'll see the reaction when it comes live in like 2 seconds here. As the imbalances are now out, CMCSA, 5 million to the sell side. JBLU is a 4 million, 3.5 million buy. Who cares about Core? Core is 1.9 million buy, I'll say it. A lot of small cappers. Intel, sell 1.3 million. Pins doesn't come out as big as you would expect. NVIDIA, only 950,000. That DVLT, 800,000, but remember that's a penny stock. So that's a very insignificant amount of money for them. AMC, AMC's at $1.03. Oh no. 800,000 share imbalance there. The only reason I stopped for a second is AMC is at $1. If that fails the dollar level and then comes back, I think it's worth a shot. But it's neither here nor there. So imbalance is pretty disappointing. BP, that's 4 million to the buy side for BP. That was not there before. What's that doing? Because anything energy related with an imbalance, I think, is going to be the one that's interesting. It's not really moving. Buy imbalance, and it just went down. That's useless. That would have been interesting if the buy and balance caused it to go up.
Sounds about right.
No, because then you could fade it for the flip at 355, but that only works if the buy and balance is taking it up. If the buy and balance doesn't even get it to the upside, you can't really do the flip trade because there's nothing to flip.
Right, the flippening. Yeah, it looks like we are going to get flipped out of this trade. I don't, you know, we put it on. We probably shouldn't have. We, you know, we got stopped out where we got stopped out. We just put it back on just in case the move was a little bit lower. It doesn't look like it wants to go too much lower. So we're just making sure that our stop out is adjusted accordingly and at the right spots, and I believe it is. So 1760 and change. We'll see if we get a stop out there or not on this trade. So that's what we're doing right now with USO and just letting this settle itself out. Only report tomorrow. FedEx, we talked about that. That's tonight. Sorry, XPeng is that Chinese EV name. They're going to report tomorrow morning. FedEx has been a good one. I have liked FedEx. I'm not in it, but I thought the transports really told a story during this run up, right? As we now get hit down, I mean, FedEx also has to deal with higher energy prices. So that could be something that they mentioned there in their conference call about dealing with that. And if they're hedged properly in the oil markets, I mean, I don't think a lot of people thought that oil was going to go up 40, 50% the way that it did. So, you know, I don't know what their future situation looks like or how some of these guys hedge, but that would be something interesting for me to have a look at would be FedEx there. And they're right at a tipping point as well. Down here is a huge, I mean, I like FedEx, like I said, man, getting a deal potentially with Amazon as well to help shipment go through. I mean, Amazon's going to have these sort of same day talks, right? And same hour talk and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to need to figure that deal out with somebody. And I think FedEx could be involved there. So could USPS there as well. And that would be UPS or the United States government involved in something with that look on Amazon as well. But FedEx up 1.4% should be a good report. If you like things non-AI, FedEx could be the thing. And again, remember, they're going to take advantage of AI.
Yeah, they win. Right now, they're winning relative to UPS. That's the biggest point.
Yeah, exactly. And they can get AI going as well because helps them with their shipments, helps them with their deliveries, and they're getting more efficient with their driving.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does mean like more efficiencies aren't necessarily always best for the labor market, but it's fantastic for the company. It's fantastic for earnings. It's fantastic for shareholders, which is what you got to care about here. That's just the real here. Oh, the other. Oh, I wanted to say good thing. Remember how Tesla had blasted? It did. It blasted off that 380. We just lost VWAP. It wasn't like there was a sell imbalance or anything, but Mr. Westermeyer, G. Westermeyer in the chat was just asking if professionals close the markets, what do we think about the end of the day today? I would usually be more pessimistic about that pullback in the SPY, if not for why it happened. Like you've got to, it's weird. Like, yeah, it's selling off at the end of the day, but we did have a huge volume spike on that Netanyahu press conference. So I put it in this perspective. We bounced off the all-day resistance on the market. So yeah, we're selling to end the day, but we're selling while holding on to this prior resistance level. So if we come in tomorrow and are still holding on to that, I don't want to just automatically be bearish again because I feel like it's like every single day coming in bearish. We got some signs of a turn here, both with energy down and market up. So I'd like to see us hold on to this level, at least for now. And we might be jinxing it as there's a little bit more selling coming in the last 5 minutes, so to speak. So the imbalances, TLT just showed up for 3 million to the sell side. NVIDIA grew on the buy side to 2 million. That could be a watch. Seriously, I just said it grew to 2 million and then it immediately paired off to 1 million before 355 even hit. So yeah, even that just immediately paired off. Maybe sending it back to the downside, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, just watching to see if FedEx is doing anything. It doesn't look like it. Okay, so we'll basically, we might give back 2%, believe it or not, on this USO trade. I mean, I can see my net and how much we'll lose if we do run that level there. It's going to be 2% of what we've made so far today on USO, and that will be the end of that trade if it takes up to 1766. So, you know, like I said, we had a very, very small amount left. We were trying to hold to see if it would go back to the upside or downside. It doesn't look like it's doing that. We're expecting $4.13 from FDX, so get ready for that number. Here it goes. Oil is going to take us out at 1766 and complete the trade, it looks like, for me, and that will be fine if that's what winds up happening. It's, you know, what it is right now at 1766. That's our stop out spot for FDX, for USO. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. Just a quick little look on Rivian. How did that end the day? You know, we started our day short Rivian at 17 1640 right there, and it's just going to end the day with a little bit of a move up into VWAP. So that should be a good little story to tell. If Rivian gets back up and breaks VWAP, that could be tomorrow's trade. Look for a 16 bid or so on Rivian. Got going there near the end of the day. You already looked at Tesla. I know that's a big order for a lot of traders. And then other than that, maybe you look at SoFi. That was moving around a little bit there, up to 17 and change again. So battling off of those lows. It hits the low again exactly of that flush. Well, that was, where was the flush?
Muddy waters.
Yeah, just trying to see. It was yesterday. No, what is this? This today? So the Muddy Waters flush was here.
It was deeper.
Yeah, the 17th, 2 days ago. So there it was into 1650. So that's the low, 1650. Today's low, 1650. So the same low there 2 days later. So that might be a good little dip buy opportunity for those.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you that are thinking about getting some SoFi, maybe try at 1650. It seems like that's where it stopped the last time. Why are people saying?
You got to consider, like, if these guys come out and call it on the day that these guys come out and call them basically like fraudulent and all this manipulation and blah blah blah. If it never makes a fresh low after that, then the buyers are telling you, maybe we don't believe you, and maybe we believe the response from SoFi and the regulators, which they leaned into. So thank you, Anthony Noto, at least for now. Dan in the chat asking, is Noto suing Muddy Waters? It's not the first time that I've seen people in the chat talk about this, like, is SoFi going to sue the short seller? I've seen absolutely nothing suggesting that, and I don't know how normal of a thing that is. No, you just refute them. They do what they do. They put on a short position and they publish a couple of months after why they are short, and it's a legal business as far as I'm concerned. It's their opinion. I don't know if a lawsuit would make any sense or whether they could win. Roy Alderton, thank you for the super chat, Sween. 10K worth of one-day calls into tomorrow on the Q's family vacation fund for this year. Wish you luck and don't tell the wife. Well, wish you luck, and we've just told the wife if she's listening.
Yeah, she's probably watching. So
if she's watching, she already knows.
Yeah. So I don't like that idea, but it's up to you.
The thing is, like, this move was a headline-driven move because now you had a conference call. Like, what happens if the president talks tonight or something and turns us the other direction? Because, like, it's if words got us one way, words can get us the other way, which makes it so very difficult, because I feel like that's what we're doing every single day. It's like, we're doing, like, the market's doing its thing, and then you wait for one big piece of news from overseas, and everything changes.
We had that super chat about Coinbase. We mentioned getting some out there. Hopefully you were able to get something out. It went to 204.40 right there, almost at the day's high before dropping into the close. If you are on Coinbase, all that you should really care about is the price of Bitcoin. They basically move hand in hand. So with less than a minute left, we'll see. There is a big imbalance on GLXY here in Toronto. So I don't know if you can see this. I don't have the right.
That's dual listed.
I don't have the right font, but there it is right there. Galaxy on Toronto, 2.2 million shares. So this one probably going to make a move. It's a sell right there of 2.2 million. So we can have a quick look to see what that's doing. And 1.98 now. Unfortunately, if I go like this and then I go into font and I go to make it bigger so we can all see it, we might miss it. I think this might not even be big enough, but there it is, 1.96. Maybe you can see it right there. So we'll see what so it's a little bit of a sell side. This is what the Toronto ones look like with only 10 minutes left. We'll see where this prints. So right now it's going to go out at 28.84, 321. Big sell imbalance. Oh, the print just, I think, came pretty low. If it did 28.26. Wow. There it is, man. A monster trade there on the GLXY sell imbalance. Just printed about 50 to 60 cents lower on that one. So congratulations if you did have that trade. Just gave you a doozy.
Oh, and if you only think
right there.
If you don't have Toronto and you're like, oh, but I can't trade on the TSX, Galaxy's dual listed. You could have had that trade in the Nasdaq as well.
Yeah, did it go down that way?
And so look, if you see the imbalances on Toronto, that's just a heads up. It did. It went from, I have a low of,
this is like 2050?
40. Why?
Yeah. 2050?
That's interesting. Why is this not, that's not currency adjusted very well?
Where
you're looking at Nasdaq as well. I think you were still on Toronto.
No. I was looking at, I was trying to see where the big print came.
Yeah, FCX does have their earnings tonight. I think we're expecting 5.7% is the expected move. Therefore, FedEx, the only really big earnings name. And then tomorrow morning, you said we have XPeng.
Yeah, XPeng,
XPeng, it's meh. That's not even one of the Chinese EVs that I think a lot of people care about. Although, oddly enough, their robot is very cool. The Xpeng robot does things that you, in demonstrations anyways, I don't know, maybe it's fake. In the video demonstration, it does a bunch of things that you wish Optimus was already doing. Pretty cool stuff they got going on.
Yeah, China's, that's probably a fraudulent...
That's what I say, like, with a grain of salt. The videos look cool. Like I said, the videos look cool. I don't own Xpeng. I probably will never own Xpeng, so it doesn't really matter.
I feel like tomorrow you're going to see some big traders on the TSX after that imbalance. So congratulations if you did take it. Let's see who made money yesterday here, and then we'll let you guys go. Okay, so yesterday's trade. Let's go see who made all the money yesterday. So we'll zoom down right there. This is yesterday's traders at Real Trading. Someone on the Nasdaq made 16.4. These are the markets. These are not where the traders are located, of course. This is just the markets that they traded. It looks like big day. I mean, yesterday we had the Fed, right? So Nasdaq, probably Q's trading or something there. Apple, I don't know what it was. Who knows? Anything on the Nasdaq, really. Amex there again. Like, see how you don't see any NYMEX on here or anything? Most traders around Real Trading will be trading GLD or SLV or USO, something like that. I mean, you see me in it, so you know that is what it is. This trader example, like if this was me today, I traded all of this but no Canada. So this trader traded 4 markets. This would be more like for me today. I had a little bit of New York, Nasdaq. I traded Fannie Mae, so you'd see OTC on here as well. And that's that, man. So this is the top traders yesterday at Trader TV Live with number 10. Pulling up the rear at 8,700. This is why when we get super chats, like there's over 3,000 traders here at Real Trading. So we get super chats of someone telling me they made 15 grand in a day. Like my hats are off to you. That is an absolutely great day, you know. And we don't have the losing trades on there. There's obviously, you know, more traders will lose than will make money. So, you know, I don't know what the downside is, but the good thing about a prop firm is you do have a controlled risk.
Well, not to like, again, I don't know what the risks are of those traders, but there is a risk system in play based on like how much you make. And if you look at it, there are some upper bands. Like no matter how much you make, there's levels that you don't get to on daily risk unless there's extreme. So it's very difficult to
like that guy probably made 15 grand on like $1,000 risk. Would be my guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very few people would have more than a few grand worth of risk. So there's a really decent chance that they were like 10x of their risk. FedEx is not. We're not going to wait around. FedEx isn't even out yet, so we can't tell you what's going on out there because they haven't reported yet. But we will be able to let you know tomorrow morning where they have reported. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Sia. She's not here now, but she's filling in the afternoon for Dara. Dara hopes to be back. She was a little bit under the weather. Hopes to be back tomorrow, of course. Thank you, Joe. Even though you didn't roll up the rim to win. We'll have some better luck tomorrow. Thank you, Sharif, Fabian, Andre, Ramin as well, Brendo, Sean, everybody. And thank you guys, viewers, as well. Hopefully we'll get just as much volatility tomorrow as today, I would suspect.
Quad witching.
It's witching tomorrow, so I would suspect we absolutely will, 100%. Hundy P. But it is 4:04. We'll see at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, whether it's here on YouTube, over on TikTok as well. You'll see us on Twitter. We're everywhere. Just make sure you find us at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Peace.